We're live. But as usual, I'm gonna have to futz and fart around a little bit to make sure that I really am live. And, you know, with my luck, sometimes it just all screws up. But we're gonna try our best. I haven't streamed in a while, not since the last, when was that? It was a while ago, maybe a couple weeks. But yeah, we're back. It's time to begin another new Knowledge Fight animated. And I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be. Yeah. I have been doing some work. I've been finding some clips. I've been cutting and editing and seeing what can happen. And I want to share that with us today. Today we're gonna do a lot of listening. Jesus Christ, my internet is super slow. Like, I don't even... Jesus Christ. Just click something and wait for 5 minutes. And then click the next thing and wait for 5 minutes. Okay. And you already knew that. Because you saw it. You're seeing it. Look what I'm dealing with right now. I'm literally just trying to look. I'm just trying to get on my page that does the live control room. It's like dip 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 dip. Dip 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 dip. Like literally, I can't even see the chat or anything until this wants to load. I don't know if anyone's watching me. I don't know if anything. Jesus, fuck. How you doing? Where's my chat? I just want my chat. Okay, Veronica's here. Thank you. Finally can see your message. Thanks, YouTube. Hello, Kudos. So glad to see you today. It has been wild the last few days, and it's nice to be here and chill. Fantastic. It's also very nice to see you, Veronica. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, new animated today. I actually have a chat window in OBS. Sometimes it's just this. It's just blank white. And I would prefer if I could actually see... Couldn't load the page. Huh. I guess we'll try to do this shit. It's just, I would rather automatically stay on top of the screen. But with this, it's going to disappear every time I click on my software. So... is it just because of things that are crazy in the world, or is it more specific to your situation? Oh my God. Everything is so fucking slow. Oh my God. This is frustrating. All right, well, we're going to get everything sorted. Why don't I do this? I'm going to start playing one of the clips. So I've edited this clip. Let's just mute all these. So here's idea number 1. And I might also be trimming the beginning of this. But this is the first clip. It is the network speech.
So after the vaccines come, we're going to end up in a situation where the globalists are going to cut off all food, right? And then eventually they have another plan, and that is Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
What?
Which actually, the globalists, if you believe this clip, they tried to get Alex to do one before.
Oh, my God.
And then they're just going to cut the food off next and collapse the country and say, if you want food, you're going to have to come do whatever we say. And, and you politically have to renounce yourself and say you were wrong and admit you were a fraud. They have that Truth and Reconciliation communist thing they do. That's already begun here.
That communist
years ago reached out to me. It was an off-record meeting, so I won't. It was high-level folks. The highest levels of the New World Order directly, obviously, reach out to us.
As high as Tolkien.
And they just said, you just need to kind of do a Truth and Reconciliation, an apology tour, and we'll make you bigger than you've ever been, and you'll be protected in this dangerous world. Because, they're saying we're dangerous, and the world's going to get more dangerous. And I, of course, said, no thank you to that. But, that's how real this is. And, of course, it's all on record, too. But, when I tell you that, it's real, right?
No. If I had to filter that through my, what he could be possibly talking.
So all of that so far, I'm not 100% if I want to include that. The problem is it's sometimes hard to find a starting point, because Dan will say something like, okay, well then next and after that, and sometimes I'm thinking if it comes in the middle of context, it just doesn't make any sense, or the audience will be wondering what did what
About?
But I don't know. I might want to just start it after this part.
Alex starts talking about how he got this offer of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
Sure.
And he starts talking about how he was in these boardrooms.
That's it. So right when Dan is setting up that Alex was in these boardrooms and giving the network speech, he starts by saying, well, in addition to the Truth and Reconciliation, and in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is that? So it's I want to go back a little bit and hear what that's about. I don't know. It might not be necessary. I might be able to finagle a clip that starts right here-ish.
And then it turns into him talking about how he lived that scene in Network.
It's just every sentence starts with "and then," or it's clearly cutting off something. I don't know. Let's listen to it, because we haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
What?
Where Ned Beatty is...
Get out of here.
Yeah. And then Alex does a line reading.
It's all in a movie.
In the big boardrooms in D.C., the big boardrooms in New York, the big boardrooms in Los Angeles. I've been in them all. When I say all those cities. In the boardrooms. Remember Howard Beale and Network? It's that speech. Think you just messed up a business deal, Mr. Beale? It's not a business deal, Mr. Beale. This is a church. This is a system, and you are... And Mr. Beale, in the final equation, we're going to destroy your soul. That's what we traffic in, Mr. Beale. You have meddled with the tidal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and you must atone. Do I got your attention there, Mr. Beale?
We connected? Okay, now we're connected. I'm sorry. I got a notification that it disconnected. Oh, excusey. So let's take it back a little bit.
God, and we want to hurt you in a ritual and pull your teeth out while you beg for mommy and then kill you.
Are we still in the movie?
So right here, when Alex is clearly going way off script, Jordan comes in with, is this still part of the movie? So my idea with this is to have Jordan and Dan as the cameraman and the script supervisor on the film set of Network, right? So I want to draw that big boardroom, but then I want to zoom out from it, and you can see Jordan there with headphones, holding a script and flipping through it. Are we still in the movie? I don't think this is in the script. And then I think I'll have Dan be a cameraman or a boom operator or something, because he also pipes in at one point. Let's keep listening. So whenever I hear Jordan, and I think that would be a kind of a funny angle, because the way they pipe in, they start playing as if they're talking to Alex, reading lines.
And pull your teeth out while you beg for mommy and then kill you.
Are we still in the movie?
We're going to rape your children, and then we're going to kill them too.
I don't remember this part.
And I think I'm going to actually beep out the word rape, just not because I monetized and care about that, but honestly, it's just fucking gross to hear him say that. So I'll be doing my own censoring of that. Okay, sorry, reconnected. So here we are. Imagine right when Dan cuts it off, Dan just like stands up. Maybe Dan's the director, and Jordan's like a script supervisor holding the script. Dan will just, maybe he'll have a little director's hat and like, not a megaphone, what are they? A bullhorn. You have to include a bit at the end about censorship. The title is going to be This is Stupid Beyond Satire.
Stupid beyond satire.
Okay.
Or maybe just Stupid Beyond Satire.
Oh, so you're not going to join us? Well, you're going to fail, and you know you're going to fail. We're going to beat you. We're going to beat humanity. I go, yeah, you're going to beat humanity. Of course we are. We're older. We're stronger. You're weak that you won't join us.
So now you'll notice that this has turned into a dialogue instead of a monologue of this character giving the speech. Now Alex exists within the scene, and he's talking back to the person, which is a fascinating, dramatic turn.
You just can't take it. But a lot more intense than that. I'm not going to show you what it looks like. But let's just say that the guy that stars in The Shining, Jack Nicholson, doesn't hold a candle to what somebody really demon-possessed looks like. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Infowars.com. Tomorrow's news today. It's a demon feast, folks, and you're for dinner.
Somebody there was like, we got to get him off of this.
Yeah.
We're going to throw on a 90s sitcom theme, and then he's going to have no choice but to switch into, it's a demon's feast, people, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Just can't not do it. Freeze
Soft,
frame
mellow,
everything.
Soft, mellow music of him explaining that it's a demon feast.
It's a demon feast, everybody. My God, that's beyond satire.
Yeah.
That is just, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that.
No.
And I thought that's a nice button to end it on. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. No. It's beyond satire. Okay, so stackies can be scripts from other movies. A stack of scripts? Yeah, I guess Alex would just have like movie scripts among his stackies. And he's like, folks, the aliens are popping out of their chests now. The aliens, they lay eggs inside of you, and the little baby will come popping out of your chest just like, blah, and all your friends are going to be like, ah! It's all right here. It's in the white papers. You mean it's in those movie scripts? So I also was trying to do a little research on Network. I've never actually watched that movie. But I have watched this mall. I've been in a mall. And by a mall, I mean all those cities.
Cool. Rooms. And, you get the little just messed up a business deal, Mr. Beal.
Okay, he's got that part right.
It's not a business deal, Mr. Beal. This is a church.
This is a church. Does he ever say church in this speech, ever? I never heard him say that. This is not... He goes this off script immediately. You think you've merely stopped a business deal. That is not the case. And Alex goes, this is not a deal. This is a church. He also really gets the end of it wrong, because at the end, he starts getting really sentimental and like... He says, and our children will live, Mr. Beale, to see that perfect world in which there's no war or famine, oppression or brutality. One vast and ecumenical holding company for whom all men will work and serve a common profit. I mean, it is obviously like evil, but he's at least saying the supposed end that the means justify. of a world without famine, oppression, or brutality, right? They're censoring me. They're trying to silence me. Yeah. Are you when you say at the end, do you mean like the end outro where we just put together lots of little sentences? Because I do like that. I like the idea, if I can. I did it, I think, in the holograms and boardrooms one, where there was some callbacks, jokes to what was in the episode. And I want to do that more. So this could be a good one, because I'm literally going to censor him. But I'm definitely not trying to silence him. Okay. So Alex goes off script pretty quick. He starts talking about this is a church.
Of this church.
Does he say anything else that's even in the script?
Mr. Beale, in the final equation, we're going to destroy your soul. That's what we traffic in, Mr. Beale. You have meddled with the tidal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and you must atone.
Okay, he's close there. It wasn't tidal forces, it's primal forces. And he says, you will atone. He says this twice. First, he says, you've meddled with the primal force of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. You have meddled with the primal force of nature, and you will atone. And then he does say, am I getting through to you, Mr. Beale? Alex loves that part. He loves the dynamic shift. You know, go from screaming to getting really, really soft. They love it.
Do I got your attention there, Mr. Beale?
Oh, but he gets the line wrong. It's, am I getting... Okay. He kind of says some things from the script. He says you've meddled with nature. He gets the forces wrong, but he kind of says that. He says, you get up on your little screen. He gets the number of inches wrong, whatever. The script says, howl about America and democracy. There is no America. The way Alex says it is, there is no countries. There are no blah, blah. I think he's kind of conflating some different parts from this. There is only IBM. Seen bad.
Throughout history, and we're going to claim this time it's for a good cause, and we are the saviors of the world. But the truth is, Mr. Beale, we don't like you because you're smarter and better looking than us. You're connected to God, and we want to hurt you in a ritual and pull your teeth out while you beg for mommy and then kill you.
Script supervisor. Now that's actually an interesting thing. I was just watching a podcast Sunny in Philadelphia. And as a practice on their show, the way they do it is they never follow the script. They always paraphrase from it. Like for them, it's only important to get like the main ideas and the main beats, right? So I think the script supervisor would be having a stroke for most of this, except when he like pretty, because if the script said, am I getting through to you? And he said, am I getting your attention, Mr. Beale? I mean, to be honest, his delivery wasn't bad. Like, I'd be like, that was a good take. I like that shift in tone. You know, he kind of nailed it. And if that's the part I needed on the script, he's supposed to be making this guy like a deal. And he's saying like he wants this guy to be the mouthpiece of the propaganda to tell 60 million people every day this truth, right? It's the kind of meeting we could probably all imagine a evil guy would do to like a little, you know, propagandist. I don't know. Makes sense to me. But yeah, either way, script supervisor is going to be, whether they're like Always Sunny style where they go off script, or it's a conventional movie where they do want you to be on the script. Either way, they're going to flip out. At Alex. So that's to me maybe the funnier part, because that's also kind of where Dan and Jordan goes. They go in the like, oh, this is we're gonna joke around as the people on the set of the movie, with Alex going so off script, and then Dan's like, maybe we should get Michael Savage. All right, that's option one. There are a few difficulties. There's some challenges surrounding that one in terms of exactly how it's going to be edited, but I think we all have a few good images of how that could be a funny one. I want to show clip number 2. Now, eventually all of these might become episodes, but I just don't know what I'm going to work on next. But this one involves Owen Schroyer, and we haven't done an Owen Schroyer yet. One idea is to use this but interject other small clips of Owen, such as some key moments in the depositions when he says he's a puppet. There's maybe room for like a flashback in this, because this is the episode where Alex Jones is drunkenly like intruding on Owen and strip teasing and yelling turtle soup. So let's take a listen.
21st was strange. And the energy
You got
was
kitties.
real weird.
Oh, yeah?
And I got a tip, because I don't watch The War Room.
Right.
But Alex showed back up
No.
on The War Room
Oh, no.
at the end of The War Room.
Why?
Well, we'll see.
American athletes shouldn't lose to another country at anything, and now they're getting swept by Nigeria, Australia, and Sweden. Get woke, go broke. But the Babylonian Bee has they think they know what's behind this. U.S. women's soccer team to boycott scoring until racism is defeated. So clearly that's it. Clearly that's it, Alex, don't you think? Don't you think, Alex? He's hovering. What do you think about this, Alex? Journalists could face up to 14 years in prison for stories embarrassing the government.
So at this point, Alex has wandered up behind Owen and is like peeking out behind him.
Oh, boy.
He's
Oh, boy.
playing peekaboo behind
boy.
Owen.
All right. All right. Okay.
He doesn't have a mic.
All right. Okay.
Mike,
So we're
mic down for this.
we're having a little bit of fun with drugs.
Mic down for this, because this is outrageous.
This is a dare special.
Yes.
Now they're saying they're going to arrest you and put you in jail for 14 years if journalists embarrass the government. I don't
Yeah,
think,
no, this is martial law.
I don't see anything.
And we're going to get
dangerous.
steaks. We can't get until 8 o'clock tonight. You want to go?
Sure.
Tell me I'm gonna let you go?
Yeah, I can go home and feed him first, though, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Turtle soup.
Never had it.
Turtle soup.
Never had it.
I just woke up. Took a nap.
Anything else you want to tell us? There we go. That's what the crowd wants. That's what the crowd wants, right?
So Owen will explain this here in a second, but I'm going to pause just to narrate this a tiny bit. One of the cameras has now moved over to Alex. He is off on the side of the stage, and it's in darkness, but you can kind of still see him. And what he's doing is he's moving around and stripping off of his button. He's wearing a button-up shirt, and he's stripping out of it.
Okay,
He's not wearing an
okay.
undershirt. He's just dancing around, taking his shirt off.
I'm on Molly! I'm on Molly! Turtle soup, I'm on Molly! Hey, you ever had Molly, Owen?
Hey, you want to go to dinner?
You want to go to dinner? We're getting steaks! I'm on Molly!
I couldn't ask you if you wanted to go to dinner on the commercial break. I had to bum rush your show.
I can't. I'm not going to get past turtle soup.
Yeah, hold on a second. We got a little bit left here.
Right there. An Alex Jones striptease. You can only get that on the War Room, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you can.
You can only get that on the War Room. Not even on the Alex Jones show can you get an Alex Jones striptease. Only on the War Room.
Sleep in his office for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I think he said drunkenly sleep in his office for a couple hours.
Yeah.
He's definitely said sleep in his office for a couple hours, but it sounded like he said drunken before that, but he wasn't mic'd. I'm not sure.
I could barely make it out. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say
No.
one way or the other.
But this is just grim. I don't know.
This is that. No, that's the behavior of somebody who is enjoying his evening.
Man, I'll say that that's the behavior of someone who's super, super concerned about how a real high-level top scientist has just come out and told you that everybody who's gotten the vaccine is going to have 1/6 of their immune system and everybody's going to die. This seems like a guy who's like really engaged in doing the work. He's really taking this seriously, and you got to trust him. I mean, he's right about everything. And
How does it feel to be vindicated?
turtle soup? That's how it feels.
You know what else? It's also the sign of a boss who has full confidence that you are going to get your audience, that you have a show just as important as his, that everything you're doing is valuable. And it's useful to the company, Dan.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to go the other way. It's the sign of a boss who knows that you don't have any goddamn career prospects outside.
That could be
You
that.
can't leave.
It could be that sign. It could also be that.
Yeah, a boss
it
who
could be
doesn't
that.
respect you and knows that you're trapped.
Hey,
So I think a lot of that might get cut out. The part of their banter that I really like, and I can kind of imagine, is this part when they're like pretending, they're like mocking Alex, pretending to talk to Owen.
hey, buddy. Hey, Owen. Say something.
Yeah.
Say that this is unprofessional to my face on air. Do it. I fucking dare you.
Hey,
So I almost picture like Dan and Jordan in the room there with Owen on the desk, at the desk behind him, and they're holding like maybe Alex puppets, and they're like kind of like talking as Alex through their puppets, like they're holding. Or okay, maybe Dan's got a Alex puppet, Jordan's got a Owen puppet, and they're just kind of acting it out together like that, like ba 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 ba. That would be kind of funny. Because, like, when I draw Owen in the thing, I want to actually make him look like a Muppet, like with little wires on his arms and just, like, 2 mouth movements. So he'll be a little easier to animate, but 2, he'll be a puppet. And that'll be our little joke, us wonks. I don't know. So a lot of this is going to get cut out because it's already really long. How long is this? It's 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Yeah. I don't necessarily want it because if it's going to be 5 minutes, it's got to have like 5 minutes of like gold. Like, oh, it's good. It's good. It keeps being good. And I think I could really cut out a lot of their banter. Deciding what to cut is hard. Sometimes I have to just listen to it more times.
How does it feel?
I'm going to listen to the last little bit of this.
PM, I dare you.
Hey, Owen. Hey, Owen. How does it feel that you would dissociate and think I'm your dad? This is sad. I'm a bad father.
Hey, Owen, how does it feel that I'm on air clearly making fun of something in your personal life but by referring to it as your turtle? Maybe it's your partner or something, maybe your roommate who's a pain in the ass. How do you like that I'm making fun of your personal life in code on your show?
On air.
Yeah.
On your show. Do you know what's fun about this show, Owen? I can take it away at any moment.
I fired David Knight. I replaced him with a baby Nazi.
Just
You think I give a shit?
Just a fuck you. Just to like try and take your job seriously. Try.
Yeah.
Just try.
I'll have Nick Fuentes in that seat in no time.
In 2 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Turtle soup. So that's puppet. That's marionette. That's a good idea. Yeah, okay, that's another style, right? That's with the strings coming from above. I was thinking the Muppet style where the rod, it's like a rod and they're holding it from below. But marionette's also a good idea. That would actually be kind of interesting and fun to animate too. Because it'd be a little complicated with all the little joints and everything. But probably could be a very cool thing. Start with Hey Owen.
That's all. This is sad.
Something, maybe your roommate.
I'm a bad father.
Hey, Owen.
I'm your dad. How does it? Hey, Owen.
Okay, yeah, that's really good.
Hey, Owen.
So we'll start it right there. Let's see how that works, because maybe this could just come in a lot sooner. Where would I cut it from?
Go to dinner. We're getting steaks. I'm on Molly.
I couldn't ask you if you wanted to go to dinner on the commercial break. I had to bum rush your show.
I can't. I'm not gonna get past turtle soup.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Oh, there's still more of the clip.
I
Okay.
think he said drunkenly sleep in his office for a couple hours.
Yeah, way or the other.
For a couple hours.
Yeah.
He's on the war room.
Sleep was honestly 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I think he said
So I actually maybe don't need that part where Dan is trying to say what he thinks he said, because I'll just caption it,
hours.
and then we can all think he said that.
But it sounded like he said drunken before that, but he wasn't.
Say, this is that. No, that's the behavior of somebody who is.
So let's try this. I'm just going to take all that away. How does that flow?
Only on the war room.
Sleep was honestly 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Owen. Hey, Owen. How does it feel that you would dissociate and think I'm your dad? This is sad. I'm a bad father.
Hey, Owen. How does it feel that I'm on air clearly making fun of something in your personal life but by referring to it as your turtle? Maybe it's your partner or something. Maybe your roommate who's a pain in the ass.
What do we think of Dan's theory that the turtle is referring to someone, and it's kind of like a coded message? Because I've listened to this a couple times, and Owen says, like, okay, Alex goes, is your turtle going to let you go? Or is the turtle going to let you go? And he says, yeah, if I go ahead and feed him first, or I have to go home and feed him. I'm really sure he said feed him. I actually have the version with just Owen. Shout out to Fudgy. Fudgy, who has this huge clip database of like everything that Alex Jones, like all of his Alex Jones show. But I couldn't find the War Room, and I wrote to him on Reddit, and I was like, "Hey, can you happen to help me figure out how to get a hold of this recording from the War Room?" And he did it. He wrote me back and got me the clip. It sent me the whole 3-hour episode. So you think he has a pet and he's being made fun of by his boss on air? I think that is it. I don't think it's referring to a partner. I think it's actually referring to an animal. Because if it's, why would you have to feed your roommate or anybody, like any human, unless it's his son? But that's weird. Is your turtle gonna let you go? And I think that was clearly him teasing him by saying, like, is your turtle, like, I bet Owen has like had to leave before because he's like, I have to go feed my turtle, and Alex was probably drunk and like, feed the turtle, you're pussy whipped, you're shell whipped by that turtle. So, because he's such an asshole, he's probably, that's what I think of. Did he actually get a pet turtle? So that's why I kind of felt uneasy about including that part with Dan saying that. Because what if he's totally wrong and it make him look stupid or something? But I don't know. Maybe he's totally right and I'm the stupid. Okay, I gotta look for this clip. I can't talk and look for things in a list at the same time. I've learned that about myself. What is it called? Is it Owen? Oh man, I got so many. That's the depot. Maybe it's this one?
Kudos, ditto. Kudos, ditto.
Kudos, ditto. Didn't hear that. AJ would make fun of Owen because he doesn't have a dog. Yeah, you got a turtle. Or maybe it is a dog, but it's like an inferior dog that moves slow. Maybe it's a slow running dog, and then so Alex demeans it by saying the turtle, but he's referring to his like slow dog. You know, your dog's so slow it's like a turtle. Oh, here that's okay. That's the knowledge thread episode. It's just organized by date. So it's not called Owen? Is it called Turtle? Is it called War Room? Oh, it's War Room. Okay. So now, this is such a long clip. I think it's somewhere towards the end. Yeah, it was at the end of the War Room.
Is Mayor Adler the original super spreader? Where? But the story's no. So there we go. That's what the crowd wants. That's what the crowd wants. If journalists embarrass prison for stories tonight, you want to go? You want to go? Sure.
Okay, here's the part. He goes,
Turtle gonna let you go?
your turtle gonna let you go?
Turtle gonna let you go?
Your turtle gonna
Turtle gonna let you go?
let you go. Let's hear it in halftime.
Turtle gonna let you go?
Yeah, I can go home and feed him first, though, right?
I can go home and feed him first, right?
Yeah, I can go home and feed him first, though, right?
Well, he said you can't get in until 8:45, dude.
I'll let you go. I want to get steaks. We can't get until 8 o'clock tonight. You want to go?
We can't get until 8 o'clock tonight. Why would Owen have to then ask, I can go home first, right?
Yeah, I can go home and feed him first, though, right?
Like, that shouldn't even be a question if you understand when you're going to go get steaks. You're going to get steaks at 8.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Turtle soup.
So as you can see, this recording of the stream, you know, their microphones probably have noise gates on them. So there's really no way to, like, zoom and enhance and figure out what he says here. Because only one little bit clipped enough to engage the microphone to start recording, so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Turtle soup.
Never had it.
Turtle
And the way he goes, never had it.
soup.
Never had it.
Never had it. Like, what do you... There's something weird with the way Owen is acting. I just woke up from a nap. That's pretty clear. But this is a zoom and enhance moment.
I just woke up.
I just woke up from a nap. So I could crank that. Some of these I want to add back into the episode because, like, with Jordan laughing over some clips, occasionally I have to go back and find the original just to, like, make it a little louder so you can hear what Alex said. Which is why Dad always says mic down.
Anything else you want to tell us?
I feel like that could work in the outro. Anything else you want to tell us?
There we go. That's what the crowd wants.
So that's the strip tease.
Only get that on the War Room, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's the part that Dan couldn't quite understand. Where it sounds like he said drunkenly sleep for 2 hours. And I kind of agree. This little sounds like drunk to me. So it's like drunk. Enhance. You gotta be drunk? Does he say you gotta be drunk?
Or room.
Sleep in the office for 2 hours.
Sleep is always for 2 hours. Sleep is always for 2 hours.
I'm going to crank all this up. And come on. And I don't know if it'll help, but I'm going to try it. Let's slow it down. So, ripple timeline. Let's slow that down to 55%.
Sleep is always for 2 hours.
You got it? Okay, I didn't think it said you gotta be drunk until I turned it up. He might have been saying, I was drunk.
Sleep is always for 2 hours.
Sleep in the office.
Sleep is always.
Sleep in his office. Is he talking about someone else? Asleep in his office.
Sleep is always for 2 hours.
Sleep in his office for at least 2 hours. Actually, I don't know if it says he's. He just gotta be drunk. Gotta be drunk, asleep in his office. But did he say in his office?
Sleep is always. Sleep is always.
I'm not sure if he says sleep or asleep. Sleep in his office. Or maybe he said sleep in this office. Like, I was drunk and asleep in this office for at least 2 hours. That's another hypothesis sentence. I honestly don't know. It's really hard to tell because, again, the mic only, like, engages at a certain threshold and he's far away. So it didn't pick up these consonants.
Sleep is always for 2 hours.
Except that S. Sleep in his office. Sleep in his. He's also drunk, so he's slurring. And he also fucks up his pronouns all the time. I always wonder why right-wingers are so touchy about pronouns. Because they're always fucking drunk and they fuck 'em up. Can't talk good. Pronouns, prepositions, articles, adverbs, they're fucked. Can't do it. All right. So that's a mystery.
Somebody arrest that man. He needs a steak dinner immediately. Hey, you know what? There is another story here that I got to say is it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be interesting. So those little clips, I'm just going to have those ready if I need to patch up anything. So one thing I can do with DaVinci Resolve, it's kind of neat. It's like you're sort of wrapping everything up in a little package, the little clips that you cut. Compound clip. And I'll say OG source clips. So now I just have this one little clip. And I can make it a certain color. Let's make it brown. And then I can sort of bundle it up with the other part. Oh, I hate the navigating. I'm still getting used to it. How to zoom. Like, it never zooms where I want to go. So, that's number 2. We're doing a lot of thinking and researching and developing here. But that's Alex Striptease. I wanted to share the third clip that I'm also considering starting to animate. A little classic called Where to Hide Your Guns.
This next commercial made me blurt laugh at The Office. Like,
Okay.
I was sitting there listening to it, and everyone stared at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, because I was blown away by I first of all can't imagine that this is a real thing. Secondly, I can't believe that the problem it's purporting to solve is real. It's just layers upon layers of, what are you doing? So, mic down on this one because it's that weird.
Okay.
It's too weird.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new book reveals powerful secrets for hiding your guns from thieves and looters. You'll learn step-by-step, battle-hardened techniques, where to hide your guns so criminals will never find them, how to create the perfect hiding place, as well as the places you should never hide your guns, under any circumstance. These and other closely guarded gun caching secrets are guaranteed to keep your weapons safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-327-0365 before they come for your guns. Hideyourguns.com right now. Right now.
That's bizarre.
I mean,
It's a book.
there's a book
It's a book.
about hiding your guns.
Yes.
And
Where
the
to
book-
hide them and where to not hide them.
Where would, under any circumstance?
Don't hide
Like,
them.
what circumstance could arise where you're like, well, maybe I should hide this gun in this place, and the book's like, no! Don't do it! Not under any circumstance! Sure, it's raining outside, but don't hide it underneath the porch!
It seems like a good idea given the circumstances, but that's because you're a fool. You don't understand where to hide guns.
And, hey, look, if you're that good at hiding guns, maybe you should write another book that says how to hide your book from people trying to shut it down.
Let's also be honest. This is about making weapons caches.
Yeah, exactly.
This is about, like,
No
militia
wonder it's
survival
illegal.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's like we might disappear at any point. Because what we're doing is legally dicey.
Where not to hide your guns.
Dig a hole.
Don't hide them in your underwear.
Don't do that.
Nuh-uh.
Don't do that.
Don't hide it in your shoe.
No.
Don't hide it in the zoo.
So that one is short, but there's a lot in there. Hello, yo, what up? I don't know if I've seen you here before. Welcome round. Anyway, we are listening to some clips. I want to listen to that one again. This one sounds like a lot of fun to make, like kind of like the fish oil commercial, with just a lot of craziness, and it's kind of already edited in a way that looks like it's going to be loco and crazy and wacky, and all these sound effects and stuff. I don't know. This one sounds like it'd be really fun, but a lot of work because it's just boom, 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 and all the imagery, you know, and the editing. This one's going to be like a challenging one, but
This next commercial made me blurt laugh at the office. Like,
Okay.
I was sitting there listening to it, and everyone stared at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, because I was blown away by. I first of all can't imagine that this is a real thing. Secondly, I can't believe that the problem it's purporting to solve is real. It's just layers upon layers of, what are you doing? So, mic down on this one because it's that weird.
Okay.
It's too weird.
Drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new door weapon safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-327-0365 before they come for your guns. Hideyourguns.com right now. Right now.
That's bizarre.
I mean,
It's a book.
there's a book
It's a book.
about hiding your guns.
Yes.
And
Where,
the
where to
book-
hide them and where to not hide them.
Where would, under any circumstance.
Don't hide
Like,
them.
what circumstance could arise where you're like, well, maybe I should hide this gun in this place, and the book's like, no! Don't do it! Not under any circumstance! Sure, it's raining outside, but don't hide it underneath the porch!
It seems like a good idea given the circumstances, but that's because you're a fool. You don't understand where to hide guns.
And, hey, look, if you're that good at hiding guns, maybe you should write another book that says how to hide your book from people trying to shut it down.
Let's also be honest. This is about making weapons caches.
Yeah, exactly.
This is about, like,
No
militia
wonder it's
survival
illegal.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's like we might disappear at any point, because what we're doing is legally dicey.
Where not to hide your guns.
Dig a hole.
Don't hide them in your underwear.
Don't do that.
Nuh-uh.
Don't do that.
Don't hide it in your shoe.
No.
Don't hide it in the zoo.
Oh, oh, oh. Hide it in your shoe. Might be a funny mashup. All the times Alex was cut off by an ad break and what the ad was. Yeah, it's some of those are really funny how abrupt they are. There's another one that was funny. It was like hey neighbor, why are you digging a hole? It's like, well, I just had heart surgery. It's like, yeah, so why are you doing it then? Like, well, I'm taking this new garlic supplement. And my doctor says that I can still take it if I want. And I don't want to stop taking it. That was a funny one, too. Oh, I got to find that one. Klaus Schwab music cover. Oh, God. What was that? I hardly remember those. They were like sung from the perspective of Klaus Schwab, covering pop tunes, but like making evil parodies. I think that's all I remember. I don't remember any of what the songs were. Would it be like a globalist, crushing for the very first time? Okay, this is like a 1.5 minute clip that I kind of like, and I don't know if I want to animate it, but it seems too short for an episode, but I just kind of like this. It's Alex revealing how he's full of shit through a caller.
He gets this terribly, and I don't think he realizes it.
In Texas, RJ, you're on the air.
Alex, what's up, buddy?
Good. Good to hear from you.
Good, how you doing? Real quick, anyway, I just moved here to Austin, and I don't really want to put...
First of all, that was a total fail of a greeting. What does he say?
From you.
Good, how you doing?
He gets this call, and it exposes him terribly, and I don't think he realizes it.
In Texas, RJ, you're on the air.
Alex, what's up, buddy?
Good. Good to hear from you.
What's up, buddy? Good. Good to hear from
Good,
you.
how you doing?
And then he says, good, how you doing? So both of them fucked up. Like, I'm an English as a second language teacher. That's my day job. And if I had two students do that...
Alex, what's up, buddy?
Good. Good to hear from you.
Good, how you doing?
I'd say, oh, let's try that again. He said, what's up? And he said, good, how you doing? Or no, he said, good, nice to see you. Mambo number 5, a little bit of Pfizer in your arm. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was shit like that. It was a pop song, but then it was like, I'm gonna do all the scary things that the conservative weirdos are talking about. You will eat the bugs, zooba zooba zoop. All right, but let's listen to this call. This guy asks Alex what should be a very easy question for Alex.
Real quick, anyway, I just moved here to Austin, and I don't really want to put any more money in the banksters' hands. I was wondering if you could recommend a good local bank.
could I recommend what specifically?
A good local bank. Small bank, not in control of the banksters.
Sorry, I was distracted. They were fixing some equipment in here and had the door open, and I couldn't hear you.
No, they weren't.
I'd have to research local banks myself in your area.
Really?
Where do you bank?
I don't really like to give people financial advice because even if it looks like good advice today, the bank might go under tomorrow, even if it's got some great local rating. But you can pull up, type in Texas, top Texas rated banks, and you'll see which ones have the biggest reserves, which ones are rated having the best customer service. And I would look at a wide range. I personally think, old local credit unions are great.
I agree.
Things like that. But, I specifically, RJ, don't like to give people, individual advice.
Bullshit.
His advice was
trying my luck.
His advice was Google it.
Yeah, but that's such bullshit because this guy is calling saying he lives in Austin. There's no way Alex Jones, if he believes the things that he professes to believe, wouldn't have a pretty good understanding of what banks were globalist and which ones were cool. That's bullshit.
So, that little thing to me was very funny. I wanted to save it. Here's another little clip I got. Also a short one, but this could actually be a much longer one. I just haven't really done a lot of research into Leo Zagami, but this is a Leo Zagami bit, which I think could also be a sort of a medley episode. It could just be like a who the fuck is Leo Zagami? But this is because there's the whole he did 9/11 thing, but then there's this one as well that's really funny.
So, we got the devil.
We got the devil.
He's hanging out.
He's chilling.
Now, I got bad news.
What's that?
There's another devil.
There's two devils?
Yeah.
That's too many.
This one I was shocked to hear about.
From your research, who is Satan? What does Satan want?
Satan and his legion want our soul. So they want a soulless society. That's why the ultimate incarnation of Satan will be achieved in 2030 after these 3 stages which I have described. Then there will be the materialization of Satan in Cyber Satan. The artificial intelligence will have matured to the next stage, and at that point, together with the robots, the robotic part of our society, which is increasing more and more, then they will dominate this planet.
I regret to inform you that Cyber Satan is in play. Yep, Cyber Satan.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's a 1-minute clip. I mean, why not do a 1-minute video? I mean, I guess. Or should I just do like a little 1-minute video? So those are the clips that I've cut. Now, the last one, I haven't even cut this out of the episode, so I don't even know where it is in the episode. But it's the one about the homeless chicken. Homeless chicken, where is that?
Story that is like somewhat funny.
Yeah.
You don't get to use it the way that Alex does, I guess.
One thing I like about this, where Dan explains the InfoWars filter, how you take a real news story, it goes through Alex's, and then it's all bullshitified, you know. And he illustrates it very well by like telling what really happened with the chicken as opposed to what Alex says happened to it. So I actually kind of liked it. Not as like a ha, like, I mean, it is funny. It does have some good laughs in it, but it's a little more informative. Kind of like the deposition episode.
But what I find more important is Alex's very clear racism at the end of that clip.
Okay.
The judge found out about these signs and
direct disrespect and direct contempt.
I feel divorced somewhere in this one.
And then he 5 days ago, and I just learned of it, and I have the article. So you can tune in here and hear it 2 years before, or you can just read the mainstream media and then find out later. It says
Okay.
if you're on the list, no job for you.
He's like, I'm reading an article. So you can hear me read this article now or hear the mainstream read it in 2 years. You fucking idiot.
King of wishful thinking.
Sure.
Or
About Rex.
I do have some chicken drawings from the R.M. Brown clip. I don't know if I actually saved those. Really easy to draw. I just like scribble painted them. So I might design a new chicken for that because I need to make it look kind of cute and like lost.
Having his own secret family.
No, Rex would have been a youngin' at this
Too
point.
young. Good call.
I'm going to the past.
I genuinely don't. I don't need to know the next part of that.
Yeah. You keep
work
Civilian draft
to get a
work
job
domestically for them. ID card through the
I don't know where this is in the episode. Skipping around.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I think
consult the relevant information and read up on his later unsuccessful attempts to sue the office.
Ridge, even before Homeland Security got funding in late 2002, on C-SPAN with a whole bunch of corporate chieftains. 2-hour press conference or meeting, and I taped it, got it in the big stacks here. Someday I hope Bob, your ID card, your national ID card through the driver's clearance. He'll have to be federal approved to have a job anywhere. And with the new national sales tax, that will bring federal enforcement into every business as the overseers. Well, the Washington Times reported on this 5 days ago. And I just learned of it, and I have the article. So you can tune in here and hear it 2 years before, or you can just read the mainstream media and then find out later. It says,
okay.
If you're on the list, no job for you. That's the headline. And if you end up getting on the list, how do you do that? Well, bad credit, you go from a green to a yellow, and you have to go work off the debts to be able to get a job. And the government's going to have the new national
you have to work
civilian draft
to get a
work
job
domestically for them in environmental land grabbing programs, gun grabbing.
It's all been announced.
Yeah, it's all happening.
I mean,
none of that is happening.
What? How many colors do you need for a system like this? You know, you go from green to yellow.
He's imagining the terrorism watch.
Right. But in a practical sense, how many? If we're setting up this system, how many colors would we need on the color wheel of how much debt you have? Right?
I think it's any, or it would be just black and white.
It'd just be black.
Any debt or none.
Any or none.
That's the difference.
You're in the red or the black.
You got debt, can't get a job. The Washington Times article that Alex is talking about is actually about the if you have like people who hire things for positions in like infrastructure critical roles.
Sure.
There's a database that they can check people who apply for those jobs on to see if they have any flags that come up.
Right.
So that's what they're talking about.
Right.
It's kind of
gotcha.
a misrepresentation.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of very important things that happen on this stretch of episodes.
Okay.
And we're about to be introduced to the first one here.
This is out of WAFF, Huntsville, Decatur, Shoals. Covers 3 large towns in Alabama. And a veteran, no criminal record, was tired of the corruption. He put a nice little small sign in his yard, didn't violate any zoning laws out in the country. And there's a picture of the sign on it, small sign in his yard.
Oh, this is a different thing. This is the guy who put a sign in his yard to fuck off a judge.
And a veteran, no criminal record.
Just when he starts saying it, so let me tell you what happened. There was this guy who's a veteran who didn't have a criminal record. Okay, where's this going? Did I get past? I can't remember where the homeless chicken part comes in the episode. I feel like it was really early on, but I thought it was before the part about the guy and the sign.
Oh, I get it.
Because it was a huge. AlexJonesIsAnidiot.com.
Oh, you can do it all.
So yeah, that's there, and it's a reason to be accessible to people, and this is obviously not the way to have done it.
Sure.
I think do it.
Interesting that you. Yep.
So I had planned a joke
about that thing that you create.
Right.
Interesting that you've been putting.
I think in the future, I figured out how to do it,
Right.
Which is to say, I figured out how to make a PDF, which is great at almost 40.
I think it's interesting that you've been putting Excel on your resume for all these years, and
I think I probably have.
I think so too.
Yeah, so many things I put on my my resume unchallenged.
Right.
It never came up.
Until you need them.
Right.
Man, that would really be useful right now. That thing I said I could do all these years.
Turns out it can't.
Turns out, yep.
So what's your bright spot?
My bright spot is another year wrapped up Games Done Quick Marathon. Is a lot of fun.
I had planned a joke where my bright spot was going to be the Awesome Games Done Quick because I knew it was going to be yours and I was going to steal it from you.
You chunked it. Chunked it. You had to get too excited about that thing that you created that I think is really great.
Well, all right. So what was your high point?
Oh,
of
there were some great runs. There was one of them. There was a dog. Dog did a run.
A dog played a game.
Yeah. A guy trained his dog. I don't know. It was a game about sleepwalking. It was like the dog. But anyways, the dog pressed the button, and then it unpressed the button. It's etc. You get it.
It's not really much of a game.
My favorite, though, was somebody had hooked up a drum set, drum kit, MIDI style, to Super Mario 64.
Okay.
So they were playing the game through the drums.
How do you do directions?
So that was the idea. So there was north, south, that kind of thing on all of the toms.
So then you keep moving forward.
You have to roll to keep moving forward, and then he had a thing he could hit so it contained his momentum.
That's
then
insane.
he had a jump button. He had a whole thing. In order to spin Bowser around, he had to do full spin rolls. It was fantastic. It was great.
Did he beat the game?
Yeah. He beat the game.
That would be exhausting.
It took like a half hour. It was ridiculous.
That's still that's the best cardio.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So I watched somebody. I think I had it was recommended on YouTube.
Sure.
I'm not entirely sure why, but I had a Marble game, Marble Madness.
Marble Madness.
I had a vague memory of that from like old Nintendo. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just very similar to games that I played on Nintendo.
Right.
But I was like, I'll check this out.
Sure.
It's very boring.
Yeah.
It's just people like marble physics.
It does happen. That can backfire.
Yeah. But hey, they're raising money for charities. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, they raised $2.5+ million this year.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. But I think what's cool about that, far greater than any of that, because cancer's a disease and we all die no matter what.
Sure.
But what we don't have to deal with is people who deny human rights. And one of the constant refrains, to the point that you cannot escape it, is that trans rights are human rights.
Sure.
And they always make sure to fucking go hard on that. So
okay.
Super cool.
That's good.
Yep.
Good for them.
Good folk.
So Jordan, today we have an episode to go over.
Yeah.
And I decided, fuck this noise.
Good call.
I'm going to the past.
I genuinely don't need to know the next part of that.
Yeah. Tired of the present. Going to the past.
Good.
So today we're going to be talking about April 2nd through 5th.
All right.
2004. And that's a Friday and a Monday. So it's not really that much.
Right.
A huge stretch of a time. But, man, oh man. What fun. I mean, comparatively.
Yeah. No. It's good. It's good stuff.
There's actually some interesting things that go down in this episode, and I'm thrilled to discuss them. But until we get to that, shit. Let's say hello to some new walks, Jordan.
That's a great idea.
My mouth ain't working.
That's a great idea.
So first, my name is Nick, and I come from sports. Thank you so much. You're now a policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
I come from sports.
I do think that might be your greatest contribution to the public space.
I come from sports.
Next, if you trust me, my name to read was Balls. Thank you so much. You're now a policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
You were supposed to do that in a voice.
What? Is it a reference?
Oh, did I forget?
Don't got though.
Alex, thank you so much. You're now a Thank you so much. You are now a technocrat.
A Caribbean.
I think I've sung all the.
I mean, yeah. I think got to is strong. Can, could. It's possible. When you have time,
I could pretend.
Maybe. I feel like got to suggests a level of urgency that maybe it doesn't require.
Do you think it's a good character choice for me to just insist that I really love that song, The King of Wishful Thinking?
Do I think it's a good character choice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me give you two choices.
Okay.
King of Wishful Thinking.
Sure.
Or Mandolin Rain. Listen to the mandolin rain. Or Give context drop.
Probably true.
There's an out of context drop.
I would have heard that our son has another son.
He would have.
Yeah, that's probably true.
There's a part we're not going to listen to at all where Alex gets really mad at a guy for not giving specifics about how there's another sun that's going to crash into the earth.
Oh, I was in my head being like, all right, secret families. Why is there a conspiracy about Rex having his own secret family?
No, Rex would have been a youngin' at this point.
Too young. Gotcha.
This is a solar system issue.
This is a solar system issue.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So we start off here, and we dive in, see what Alex is concerned about on April 2nd, 2004.
Right. 2 years ago, I told you that I saw Governor Ridge, even before Homeland Security got funding in late 2002, on C-SPAN with a whole bunch of corporate chieftains. 2-hour press conference or meeting, and
I didn't say. This is episode 891. Let's put that up. 891. And I guess I just misremembered. We're going to have to just listen to this for a while. We're going to get to the chicken story. And yes, there was a Don Gato spotting. I don't know where he just went. The cats are all kind of chilling outside right now. It's a lovely night. It's a lovely evening here in southern Mexico. All right.
Here, someday I hope to put a clip of it in a video.
Someday.
And Governor Ridge said to have a job, your ID card, your national ID card through the driver's license will have your 4 levels of security. Have the new national.
You have to work.
Civilian was tired of the corruption. He
Sure.
put a nice little small sign in his yard.
All right. I know it's going to be after this part.
They, in their power trip, in their compulsive, aggressive garbage, that was their instinct. Arrest that man!
Sure.
Folks, that's England pre-Magna Carta. That's Nazi Germany. That's Russia.
So Alex is playing a little fast and loose with some details on this story.
Sure.
Like he's not naming the person who put up the sign, which makes it more difficult if you're just listening to this to check up on it. What's the
Yeah,
story here?
I got bad vibes.
So here's what's going on.
Uh-huh.
Your instincts are pretty sharp.
I just, sometimes you just hear divorce in something.
Yeah. So this has to do with a fella named Philip Dean, who had just gone through a particularly nasty divorce, in which his ex-wife got custody of their kids. So it is true that he posted a sign on his yard that said, quote, "Our court system is a joke." But what Alex fails to mention is that there were 3 other signs.
Okay. I think I've found it. It's at 46 minutes in. There-ish.
But the chicken was saying.
Of saved a homeless chicken.
Okay, here we
Put a
go.
sign up in his yard.
Because
Right.
there are very, very serious issues.
Okay.
Mic'd out for this.
Oh, no. All right.
And
we're done.
And we're not going to listen to much of that interview because
Right.
there are very, very
Right. Right. Right.
There are very, very serious issues.
Okay.
Mic'd out for this.
Oh, no.
And remember the story Friday out of Alabama in their local newspapers and television stations reporting that a man put a sign up in his yard saying that our court system is a joke, and proving that point, the local judge had him arrested and said, disrespect to government is illegal. Came out and said you're not allowed to criticize us. This is what they think. And sounds unbelievable, but it's actually happening. And then we got a call Friday from a listener claiming that in Oregon, he saw a local news story, and I had seen a blurb about it, that a man saved a homeless chicken that lived...
All right.
It's unbelievable, but it's actually happening. And then we got a call. And then we got a call.
Okay.
Mic'd out for this.
Oh, no.
And we got a call Friday from a listener.
Oh, no.
We got a call Friday from a listener claiming that in Oregon, he saw a local news story, and I had seen a blurb about it, that a man saved a homeless chicken that lived on the street in front of a grocery store, and so he got a vicious SWAT team raid and was beat up and is now being charged himself with very serious crimes. Again, this is not April Fool's. It's April 5th, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't do April Fool's on April 1st.
He had a really like dorky fucking vibe where he's like, this isn't jokes, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't April Fool's. It's April 5th. We don't even do April Fool's on April Fool's Day because this is serious, folks. I love that kind of like grown up where he's like, I'm actually pretending to be a very serious guy.
On April Fool's, it's April 5th, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't do April Fool's on April 1st. This is real news. This is really happening.
Cut to. They're putting people in fish tanks.
This is the insanity of government.
So this didn't really happen.
Can a man not take in a homeless chicken? Can a man not do that in America?
So this is okay.
Details are a little bit off here.
Yeah.
So this is about a guy named Nicholas Gombos. He went to a local grocery store called Ray's Food Place and noticed that they had a chicken in a coop. He decided that the chicken was sad and being mistreated and that he should take that chicken home. However, that chicken was a beloved mascot of Ray's Food Place named Speckles.
It was named Speckles.
It was.
The man stole.
It was.
Oh, the man stole Speckles.
Yep. He
Okay.
probably wasn't a
of government.
So this didn't.
All right. This is pretty good.
So this didn't really. It was named Speckles.
It was.
Oh, the man stole Speckles.
Yep. He
Okay.
probably wasn't a malicious person in this act. Maybe just
Sure.
delusional. Because after he stole Speckles, he bought a hen and a rooster so that none of the birds would be lonely. At some point, it
All
became
right.
known that he was the one who had taken the chicken, so the police
Sure.
contacted him and asked him to give Speckles back, which he refused to do.
Of course.
Things turned a little bit ugly when the police came to his house and wanted to retrieve this stolen chicken, and he
Right.
threatened them, which led to him going to jail
Okay.
for theft as well as threatening officers.
Sure.
He didn't get SWAT teamed, and the police didn't beat him up. That's all just exaggerations Alex is adding to the story to excite the listeners.
Right.
There's a really dark kind of end to this story.
Of course there is.
So in May, after Speckles was returned to Ray's,
Good.
someone showed up and killed him in the night, leaving
Speckles?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
The guy killed Speckles because
No,
if
it
he
wasn't
can't
him. It
have
wasn't him.
Speckles, no one can?
No, I understand why that's a fun story for you
Okay.
to connect dots, but
Sure.
it wasn't him.
Okay.
This person killed the chicken in the night, left to be discovered in the morning. Eventually, an 18-year-old from a neighboring town admitted to doing it, thinking that the chicken was injured and needed to be put out of its misery. Or more likely, I mean, if I just had to suspect, he was a fucked up kid.
I mean, what is going on with the people around this fucking grocery store? This is something in the water issue. This is not. Why is this man trying to steal a chicken that's outside of a grocery store? I don't care how you feel about this chicken.
There's a lot of Speckles drama.
Man, that is
the stakes on these episodes, though.
I just
Divorced guy with the billboard, guy who's stealing a chicken.
I want to go back, Dan.
Yep.
I want to go back.
Yep.
Ugh.
So, anyway.
That might be a good end to that one.
So this guy decided.
Now the guy who steals chickens is going to be the president. That's what it's going to be.
So this guy decided to kidnap a mascot chicken from a grocery store because he thought he could raise it better. It's being reported by Alex as a case where the government just oppressed a good Samaritan who wanted to help out a chicken experiencing homelessness. This is what we call the InfoWars filter, where a real-life story gets turned into complete bullshit designed to make the audience feel like they're under attack. What if you just thought you could help this chicken out? What about you'd get raided by the SWAT team and they'd all beat you up?
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Here's something that I find interesting in the past. It feels like when we go deep into stories in the past, the story is always far more interesting than the bullshit that Alex makes up.
Generally.
In the present...
Generally.
That might be a good button there, actually. Because I do actually want to keep in this part about the InfoWars filter.
Just oppressed a good Samaritan who wanted to help out a chicken experiencing homelessness.
So, at this point, 24... So it's about 4-minute clip. It's pretty good.
There
We
are
might
very,
chop
very
something in the middle of
serious
it.
Issues.
Okay.
Mic'd out for this.
Oh, no.
We got a call Friday from a listener claiming that in Oregon, he saw a local news story
Why is it Oregon?
claiming that in Oregon,
Oregon? Oregon? He's the weirdest pronunciation. We're going to listen that in Oregon. Speckles drama. Yeah.
that lived.
Take in a homeless chicken. Can a man not do that in America?
So this is okay.
Details are a little bit off here.
Yeah.
So this is about a guy named Nicholas Gombos. He went to a local grocery store called Ray's Food Place and noticed that they had a chicken in a coop. He decided that the chicken was sad and being mistreated and that he should take that chicken home. However, that chicken was a beloved mascot of Ray's Food Place named Speckles.
It was named Speckles.
It was.
Oh, the man stole Speckles.
Yep. He
Okay.
probably wasn't a malicious person in this act. Maybe just delusional, because after he stole Speckles, he bought a hen and a rooster so that none of the birds would be lonely. At some point, it became known that he was the one who had taken the chicken, so the police contacted him and asked him to give Speckles back, which he refused to do.
Of course.
Things turned a little bit ugly when the police came to his house and wanted to retrieve this stolen chicken, and he threatened them, which led to him going to jail for theft as well as threatening officers.
Sure.
He didn't get SWAT teamed, and the police didn't beat him up. That's all just exaggerations Alex is adding to the story to excite the listeners.
Right.
There's a really dark kind of end to this story.
Of course there is.
So in May, after Speckles was returned to Ray's, someone showed up and killed him in the night, leaving
Speckles?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
The guy killed Speckles because
No,
if
it
he
wasn't
can't
him.
have
It wasn't him.
Speckles, no one can?
No, I understand why that's a fun story for you to connect dots, but it wasn't him.
Okay.
This person killed the chicken in the night, left him in the sidewalk to be discovered in the morning. Eventually, an 18-year-old from a neighboring town admitted to doing it, thinking that the chicken was injured and needed to be put out of its misery. Or more likely, I mean, if I just had to suspect, he was a fucked up kid.
I mean, what is going on with the people around this fucking grocery store? This is something in the water issue. This is not. Why is this man trying to steal a chicken that's outside of a grocery store? I don't care how you feel about this chicken.
There's a lot of Speckles drama.
Man, that is
the steak. There's a lot of Speckles drama.
Man, that is
the stakes on these episodes.
That's where he says it.
He just
divorced guy with the billboard, guy who's stealing a chicken.
That is
the Speckles drama.
Man.
So this guy decided. Drama.
Man.
So this guy decided.
Now the guy who steals chickens is going to be the president. That's what it's going to be.
So this guy decided to kidnap a mask. So this guy. So this guy decided to kid. So this guy decided to kidnap. So this guy. So this guy decided to kidnap a mascot chicken from a grocery store because he thought he could raise it better. It's being reported by Alex as a case where the government just oppressed a good Samaritan who wanted to help out a chicken experiencing homelessness. This is what we call the InfoWars filter, where a real-life story gets turned into complete bullshit designed to make the audience feel like they're under attack. What if you just thought you could help this chicken out, but you'd get raided by the SWAT team and they'd all beat you up?
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Here's something that I find interesting in the past. It feels like when we go deep into stories in the past, the story is always far more interesting than the bullshit that Alex makes up.
Generally.
Okay. I don't know how to end this one. I think they go on to say more stuff. Jordan kind of has a rambling theory about how the past and the present are different. And I don't know if that's going to really work. Because when he's saying the present, that's now the past for us.
Dead internet theory has some very coincidental aspects to it, but sometimes whenever you think about like
When the internet dies, it'll turn into a skeleton.
Yeah, with
That
a fez.
skeleton.
It's gonna have a fez. We're gonna cut it in half while we wear.
Because these stories are so far in the past,
Sure.
we know how they end.
Yeah.
And so you can see
There's a more
the totality
total,
of it, whereas in the present, you're just like, well, here's what's happened so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead internet theory has some very.
Exactly.
Gonna have a fez. We're gonna cut it in half while we wear fezes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So this there's another news story that Alex has on this episode that kind of blew my mind.
Okay.
We'll be getting into that. Also, a new mainstream article about how the U.S. got Canada into World War II. A lot of evidence shows, according to Canadian papers, that the U.S. government shelled a lighthouse to blame it on the Germans. And I'm not defending the Nazis here. I'm just giving you an historical
I'm not defending the
example
Nazis?
of problem, reaction, solution. Folks, I rarely see this big of an overload of key stories. I'm going to try to just news blitz through all of it.
So Canada was in World War II well before the United States was.
I was going to say.
They entered the war in September 1939, a good 2 years before Pearl Harbor, which Alex also thinks is a false flag that the globalists pulled to get the country into war. Now, I know that I hear Alex saying that he's not into the Nazis, but man, he sure seems to think that everybody who fought them was tricked into doing it.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Okay, so they're off on another story. So, what are we going to do now? We've spent the last hour and a half just listening to clips and theorizing about what to do. Let's review. We've got the network speech. We've got Alex's striptease with Owen. We've got where to hide your guns. We've got these two short ones. Can you recommend a bank? The more I think about it, the more that's not really that funny. It kind of is. But I don't know if I would want to bother animating it yet. We have Cyber Satan. Maybe that could be its own 1 minute episode. I'm kind of thinking, why not? I feel like nobody would care, right? They're not going to come arrest me if I just make one that's 1 minute long. The fezzes. Oh yeah, the skeletons with fezzes. Right? What was that? That was from a caller, right? Yeah. Oh. Tell me what you know about that. Was it that he was like seeing some artwork and he was describing it as if it was scary? And then he said that they're wearing fezzes. And then we have homeless chicken. Okay. So let's look at our list. Let's make a list. We've got network speech, too stupid for satire or something like that. We've got Alex striptease, turtle soup. We've got a supercut could be called a news blitz. Yeah. I mean, because even 1 minute would, there's other things that it's like, it's just 5 seconds of this episode might be worth it. Out of context drops could be a thing. I could just have Dan saying, and here's an out of context drop. And then do a bunch of those. Okay, Alex striptease. Then we got where to hide your guns. I don't know why this is in 2 pieces. Or 3 pieces. Oh yeah, I was thinking I was gonna cut that part out, I think. This is extra sound bites that goes with that. Actually, I can just combine them as a compound clip. Striptease. Where to hide your guns.
Where to hide them and where to not hide them.
Where would, under any circumstance?
Don't hide.
Okay, then we have Cyber Satan. We have Cyber Satan. We have Homeless Chicken. In the book, they saw a photo and it was scary to them. And yeah, it was a caller, right? Or was it maybe a guest he had? It was someone else telling Alex about it, right? They were saying like, I think this book is satanic because they had really satanic art. And the skeletons in Fezes is a thing, right? I think, is it a certain... I think it's like a thing that you see a lot. I don't remember what it symbolizes, but yeah, like there's already lots of art of a skeleton in a Fez. So it means something, right? What is the meaning of skeleton in Fez? Google sucks now. Gottfried. Skeleton suit. Fez skull. I feel like I'm getting like video games and stuff. So, yeah. 1 minute animation could be fine. Where to hide your guns. Homeless chicken. Speckles drama. Now there's some others that I've also like the SeaWorld story. I had like I think I lost all the audio edits I made for that. But at one point I had sort of edited something down. It's an interesting one. It's one that I would probably have to do one of those fading effects where you make it like time is passing and someone's just still talking. SeaWorld. I don't know if I have that anymore. But I still have like a lot of I have like images of that in my head, thinking like, oh, we should work on that one, figure it out. Fraternal orders like the Shriners wear them, and it's also common for Muslim leaders. Okay. But so when they're depicting a skeleton wearing one, yeah, like maybe it's the Masons or the Shriners or the... There's all kinds of those dumb white guy clubs. Hey, Don Gato. Don Gato. All right. So, I did actually start a few drawings. I got some reference clips from Network Speech. So, why don't we listen... Maybe we'll listen to all the clips kind of in one go again, which should take 20 minutes just to listen to what I have edited it. Who edited it? Yeah, so we'll play this from the beginning. Also I'll do some drawing. We should finally do that. What is bike? I forgot what bike was. Oh, this is some drawing. Come on now. Why won't it play? Okay, hold on. Got Don Gato messing me up. He's a very cuddly guy, so he wants to sit on my lap / on my keyboard. That's his usual jam. If he's gonna sit on me, he likes to get on top of my arms. All right, buddy. Oh, don't, no. Ah, God damn it. All right.
So after the vaccines come, we're going to end up in a situation where the globalists are going to cut off all food, right? And then eventually they have another plan, and that is Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
What?
Which actually, the globalists, if you believe this clip, they tried to get Alex to do one before.
Oh my God.
And then they're just going to cut the food off next and collapse the country and say, if you want food, you're going to have to come do whatever we say. And, and you politically have to renounce yourself and say you were wrong and admit you were a fraud. They have that Truth and Reconciliation communist thing they do. That's already begun here.
You know, that communist
years ago reached out to me. It was an off-record meeting, so I won't say who, but it was high-level folks. The highest levels of the New World Order directly, obviously, reach out to us.
As high as Tolkien.
And they just said, you just need to kind of do a Truth and Reconciliation, an apology tour, and we'll make you bigger than you've ever been, and you'll be protected in this dangerous world. Because, you know, they're saying we're dangerous, and the world's going to get more dangerous. And I, of course, said, no thank you to that. But, I mean, that's how real this is. And, of course, it's all on record, too. But, you know when I tell you that, it's real, right?
No. If I had to filter that through my, like, what he could be possibly talking about, I'm going to... So, Alex starts talking about how he got this offer of the...
And I, of course, said, no thank you to that. But, I mean, record, too. But, you know that, it's real, right?
No. If I had to filter that through my, like... No. If I had, like, what he could be possibly talking about, I'm gonna... So... No. So, Alex starts talking about how he got this offer of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
Sure.
That's how real this is. And, of course, it's all on record, too. But, you know when I tell you that, it's real, right?
No. So, Alex starts talking about how he got this offer of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
Sure.
And he starts talking about how he was in these boardrooms. Okay. And then it turns into him talking about how he lived that scene in Network.
What?
Where Ned Beatty is...
Get out of here.
Yeah. And then Alex does a line reading.
It's all in a movie.
You know, like in the big boardrooms in D.C., the big boardrooms in New York, the big boardrooms in Los Angeles. I've been in them all. When I say all those cities. In
cool.
The boardrooms. And, you know, you get the little Howard Beale speech. Remember Howard gets that speech? This is a system, and you are a unit of this church. And Mr. Beale, in the final equation, we're going to destroy your soul. That's what we traffic in, Mr. Beale. You have meddled with the tidal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and you talk about countries and borders and nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples, Mr. Beale. There's only a spectrum of corporations and companies, and each of us is just a little piece of that larger whole. And you see, you're obsolete, Mr. Beale. You're non-essential, Mr. Beale, and we're going to kill you, Mr. Beale. We're going to give you the same speech they've given throughout history, and we're going to claim this time it's for a good cause, and we are the saviors of the world. But the truth is, Mr. Beale, we don't like you, and you're connected to God, and we want to hurt you in a ritual and pull your teeth out while you beg for mommy and then kill you.
Are we still in the movie?
We're going to rape your children, and then we're going to kill them too. Okay.
I don't remember this part.
But we're going to do it over and over again. We're going to make copies of your children, and we're going to rape those clones over and over
This
again.
would be really weird to put in the movie.
See, that's the real speech, Mr. Beale. So, are you going to join us, Mr. Beale?
Okay, yeah. It went a little off track from network, but
you know, Mr. Jones, I feel like that was. I think that was great. I think we've seen all we need to see. Contact with your agent.
Do you have Michael Savage's phone number? Because he might be less problematic than you. I think that hit some of the beats of the network speech. Missed a couple of them. So this keeps going, and in my note, I just have this is stupid beyond satire.
Okay.
Oh, so you're not going to join us? Well, you're going to fail, and you know you're going to fail. We're going to beat you. We're going to beat you, man.
No.
On the War Room.
Oh no.
At the end of the War Room.
Why?
Well, we'll see.
American athletes shouldn't lose to another country at anything, and now they're getting swept by Nigeria, Australia, and Sweden. Get woke, go broke. But the has they think they know what's behind this. U.S. women's soccer team to boycott scoring until racism is defeated. So clearly that's it. Clearly that's it, Alex, don't you think? Don't you think, Alex? He's hovering. What do you think about this, Alex? Journalists could face up to 14 years in prison for stories embarrassing the government.
So at this point, Alex has wandered up behind Owen and is like peeking out behind him.
Oh boy.
He's
boy.
playing peekaboo behind Owen.
All right. All right. Okay.
He doesn't have a mic.
All right. Okay.
Mike,
so we're
mic down for this.
We're having a little bit of fun with drugs.
Mic down for this because this is outrageous.
This is a dare special.
Yes.
Now they're saying they're going to arrest you and put you in jail for 14 years if journalists embarrass the government. I don't think,
no, this is martial law.
I don't see anything.
And we're going to get steaks. We can't get until 8 o'clock tonight. You want to go? You go?
Yeah, I can go home and feed him first, though, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Turtle soup.
Never had it.
Turtle soup.
Never had it.
I just woke up.
Anything else you want to tell us? There we go. That's what the crowd wants. That's what the crowd wants, right?
So Owen will explain this here in a second, but I'm going to pause just to narrate this a tiny bit. One of the cameras has now moved over to Alex. He is off on the side of the stage, and it's in darkness, but you can kind of still see him. And what he's doing is he's moving around and stripping off of his button. He's wearing a button-up shirt, and he's stripping out of it. He's not wearing an undershirt. He's just dancing around, taking his shirt off.
I'm on Molly! I'm on Molly! Turtle soup, I'm on Molly! Hey, you ever had Molly, Owen?
Hey, you want to go to dinner?
You want to go to dinner? We're getting steaks! I'm on Molly!
I couldn't ask you if you wanted to go to dinner on the commercial break. I had to bum rush your show.
I can't. I'm not going to get past turtle soup.
Yeah, hold on a second. We've got a little bit left here.
Right there. An Alex Jones striptease. You can only get that on the War Room, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you can.
You can only get that on the War Room. Not even on the Alex Jones show can you get an Alex Jones striptease. Only on the War Room.
Sleep is obviously 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
This is that. No, that's the behavior of somebody who is.
Okay, I had another theory about what Alex says there, because maybe he's responding to Owen when Owen says the only place you can get that is on the War Room, and so Alex is saying you gotta be drunk asleep in the office for couple hours. So maybe he's saying like that's what you gotta do to have that. Like, you got to watch the War Room to have an Alex striptease. And Alex is saying, you got to be drunk asleep in your office for a couple hours to get an Alex striptease. What do you think? Is that a theory? Because he's wilding out. And he definitely... I really thought he said, you gotta get drunk.
Man, I'll say that that's the behavior of someone who's super, super concerned about how a real high-level top scientist has just come out and told you that everybody who's gotten the vaccine is going to have 1/6 of their immune system and everybody's going to die. This seems like a guy who's like really engaged in doing the work. He's really taking this seriously, and you got to trust him. I mean, he's right about everything. And
How does it feel to be vindicated?
Turtle soup. That's how it feels.
You know what else? It's also the sign of a boss who has full is valuable and it's useful to the company.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to go the other way. It's the sign of a boss who knows that you have any goddamn career prospects outside.
That could be that. It could be that sign. It could also be that.
Yeah, a boss who doesn't respect you and knows.
I've bundled it like that because then they were playing at the same time. Oopsie.
Knows that you're trapped.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Owen. Say something.
Yeah.
Say that this is unprofessional to my face.
Who knows that you don't have any goddamn career prospects outside.
That could be that. It could.
That's how it feels.
My face on air. Do it. I fucking dare you.
Hey, Owen. I dare you to pretend that you have an interview at ESPN. I dare you. This next commercial made me blurt laugh at The Office. Like,
Okay.
I was sitting there listening to it, and everyone stared at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, because I was blown away by. I first of all can't imagine that this is a real thing. Secondly, I can't believe that the problem it's purporting to solve is real. It's just layers upon layers of, what are you doing? So weird.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new book reveals powerful secrets for hiding your guns from thieves and looters. You'll learn step-by-step, battle-hardened techniques, where to hide your guns so criminals will never find them, how to create the perfect hiding place, as well as the places you should never hide your guns, under any circumstance. These and other closely guarded gun caching secrets are guaranteed to keep your weapons safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-32...
Hide them and where to not hide them.
Where would, under any circumstance?
Don't hide
Like,
them.
what circumstance could arise where you're like, well, maybe I should hide this gun in this place, and the book is like, no! Don't do it! Not under any circumstance! Sure, it's raining outside, but don't hide it underneath the porch!
It seems like a good idea given the circumstances, but that's because you're a fool. You don't understand where to hide guns.
And, hey, look, if you're that good at hiding guns, maybe you should write another book that says how to hide your book from people trying to shut it down.
Let's also be honest. This is about making weapons caches.
Yeah, exactly.
This is about, like,
No
militia
wonder it's illegal.
survival
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
That's why it's like we might disappear at any point, because what we're doing is legally dicey.
Where not to hide your guns.
Dig a hole.
Don't hide them in your underwear.
Don't do that.
Nuh-uh.
Don't do that.
Don't hide it in your shoe.
No.
Don't hide it in the zoo.
So, we got the devil.
We got the devil.
He's hanging out.
He's chilling.
Now, I got bad news.
What's that?
There's another devil.
There's two devils?
Yeah.
That's too many.
This one I was shocked to hear about.
From your research, who is Satan, what is Satan, and what does Satan want?
Satan and his legion want our soul. So they want a soulless society. That's why the ultimate incarnation of Satan will be achieved in 2030 after these three stages which I have described. then there will be the materialization of Satan in Cyber Satan. The artificial intelligence will have matured to the next stage, and at that point, together with the robots, the robotic part of our society, which is increasing more and more, then they will dominate this planet.
I regret to inform you that Cyber Satan is in play. Yep, Cyber Satan.
Oh, boy.
There are very, very serious issues.
Okay.
Mic'd out for this.
Oh, no.
We got a call Friday from a listener claiming that in Oregon,
Oregon.
a local news story, and I had seen a blurb about it, that a man saved a homeless chicken that lived on the street in front of a grocery store, and so he got a vicious SWAT team raid and was beat up and is now being charged himself with very serious crimes. Again, this is not April Fool's. It's April 5th, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't do April Fool's on April 1st. This is real news. This is really happening. This is the insanity of government.
So this didn't really happen.
Can a man not take in a homeless chicken? Can a man not do that in America?
So this is okay.
Details are a little bit off here.
Yeah.
So this is about a guy named Nicholas Gombos. He went to a local grocery store called Ray's Food Place and noticed that they had a chicken in a coop. He decided that the chicken was sad and being mistreated and that he should take that chicken home. However, that chicken was a beloved mascot of Ray's Food Place named Speckles.
It was named Speckles.
It was.
Oh, the man stole Speckles.
Yeah, he probably wasn't a malicious person in this act. Maybe just delusional, because after he stole Speckles, he bought a hen and a rooster so that none of the birds would be lonely. At some point, it became known that he was the one who had taken the chicken, so the police contacted him and asked him to give Speckles back, which he refused to do.
Of course.
Things turned a little bit ugly when the police came to his house and wanted to retrieve this stolen chicken, and he threatened them, which led to him going to jail for theft as well as threatening officers.
Sure.
He didn't get SWAT-teamed, and the police didn't beat him up. That's all just exaggerations Alex is adding to the story to excite the listeners.
Right.
There's a really dark kind of end to this story.
Of course there is.
So in May, after Speckles was returned to Ray's, someone showed up and killed him in the night, leaving
Speckles?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
The guy killed Speckles because
No,
if
it
he
wasn't
can't
him.
have
It wasn't him.
Speckles, no one can?
No, I understand why that's a fun story for you to connect dots, but it wasn't him.
Okay.
This person killed the chicken in the night, left him in the sidewalk to be discovered in the morning. Eventually, an 18-year-old from a neighboring town admitted to doing it, thinking that the chicken was injured and needed to be put out of its misery. Or more likely, I mean, if I just had to suspect, he was a fucked up kid.
I mean, what is going on with the people around this fucking grocery store? This is something in the water issue. This is not. Why is this man trying to steal a chicken that's outside of a grocery store? I don't care how you feel about this chicken.
There's a lot of Speckles drama.
Man.
So this guy decided to kidnap a mascot chicken from a grocery store because he thought he could raise it better. It's being reported by Alex as a case where the government just oppressed a good Samaritan who wanted to help out a chicken experiencing homelessness. This is what we call the InfoWars filter, where a real-life story gets turned into complete bullshit designed to make the audience feel like they're under attack. What if you just thought you could help this chicken out? What about you'd get raided by the SWAT team and they'd all beat you up?
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Here's something that I find interesting. In the past, it feels like when we go deep into stories in the past, the story is always far more interesting than the bullshit that Alex makes up.
Generally. He gets this call and it exposes him terribly, and I don't think he realizes it.
In Texas, RJ, you're on the air.
Alex, what's up, buddy?
Good to hear from you.
Good, how you doing? Real quick, anyway, I just moved here to Austin, and I don't really want to put any more money in the banksters' hands. I was wondering if you could recommend a good local bank.
The banksters?
Could I recommend what specifically?
A good local bank. Small bank, not in control of the banksters.
Sorry, I was distracted. They were fixing some equipment in here and had the door open, and I couldn't hear you.
No, they weren't.
I'd have to research local banks myself in your area.
Really?
Where do you bank?
I don't really like to give people financial advice because even if it looks like good advice today, the bank might go under tomorrow, even if it's got some great local rating. But you can pull up, type in Texas, top Texas rated banks, and you'll see which ones have the biggest reserves, which ones are rated having the best customer service. And I would look at a wide range. I personally think, old local credit unions are great. I specifically, RJ, don't like to give people, individual advice.
Bullshit.
His advice was Google it.
Yeah, but that's such bullshit because this guy is calling saying he lives in Austin. There's no way Alex Jones, if he believes the things that he professes to believe, wouldn't have a pretty good understanding of what banks were globalist and which ones were cool. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Why might a bank go under tomorrow, Alex? I don't want to tell you which bank to use because it could fucking collapse tomorrow, even if it's the best bank ever. But definitely just Google it and take whatever they say.
And I don't think he realizes it.
Silly motherfucker. All right. Ooh, okay, so I'm just kind of taking my time getting the vibe of this, getting the color scheme, and just trying to reproduce it a little bit here. Having fun with it. 9:45 just dropped. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Alex is having a normal one. Ooh, fresh one, 5 minutes ago. So here's the other fun thing, is the newest episode always also has a potential to be animated. And that's kind of what happened with holograms and boardrooms, is around this stage of planning, I was listening to a new episode and I heard that. So that became the episode. Know what I'm saying? And so I think the stream didn't end, but we're back.
Eternity.
Yep.
Eternity with our timing.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's good to be back. Picked up my dogs.
Yeah.
Everything with that is great. This is 100% how it works. Fanny was in my wife's office where we spent the pandemic, where she was teaching. She would go in there all day, every day, and Fanny would be right at the foot of her chair. And now she's not there, and I found Fanny at the foot of her chair yesterday, just kind of like. Oh, it was heartbreaking.
That's sweet.
You knew she missed you. That's what it was, and it was beautiful, but it was also heartbreaking.
This belongs on a card of some sort, this image.
Fanny just had a chair. Yeah. Works for me.
So you went to Missouri, you went to Branson.
I did go to Branson,
Missouri. You messaged
Missouri.
me that you went to Silver Dollar City.
I did go to Silver Dollar City.
Did you hit any other landmarks
let's see.
that I might have been to in my childhood?
No, we went to Silver Dollar City, and we spent the whole day there, right? And then the next day, it was downpouring, like nonstop rain. So we couldn't go see any of the any like outdoor stuff.
Sure.
So then it was just like let's play a family game. Let's just hang out together.
I have to play a game instead of going to the Mark Twain caves.
We're not going to the Mark Twain caves today, folks.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can't go to the old timey town in Arrow Rock.
What would you want me to see?
Nothing.
In Missouri. See, that's.
I mean, Columbia, I could show you some pretty fun stuff there, but like,
sure.
Yeah, I've been around Missouri. I've seen enough. I can call it.
I didn't have a ton of complimentary words to share.
No, and that's all right. I don't take it too personally.
No.
So anyway, glad back.
Absolutely.
You made it, and your dogs are safe.
Yeah. What's your bright spot?
My bright spot is this is going to come off a little bit strange.
Okay.
So let me cook here. As the kids say.
I'm listening.
Been watching the RNC. I just decided. I was telling you this. I was like, well, I spend all my time watching this insane content of Alex and that kind of shit. What's the mainstream like? I don't watch a ton of Trump speeches or Trump rallies or, other Republican leaders' speeches. And so I've been just watching the streams. And it is nuts. Here's why it's a bright spot.
Okay. I was going to say, people are going to be...
That's why I need to
there
get
we
to
go.
this.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's all good.
It makes me realize that this time is not wasted looking at the crazy shit because it's very similar. Like, listening to Alex is not that different from watching. There's a lot more restraint at the RNC. There's a lot less showmanship and shit. But a lot of the stuff that's being said, pretty fucking similar.
Yeah.
There was a send them back chant.
A send them back chant?
Yes. Going on.
Oh, boy.
It was powered by a palpable hatred of immigrants.
Hey.
It was just amazing. Like, seeing this and seeing like, oh, this is familiar. And so I guess it made me realize a little bit of like, well, this what we're talking about when we talk about Alex Jones and this is a little more relevant than I like to realize. And so that's kind of a bright spot, I guess. I mean, it's a dark spot for the world, but
sure.
It makes me feel like my time isn't as wasted watching his awful shit.
Oh, no, I totally understand you. I mean, to think about us where we were a decade ago, the two of us at some bar at 3 a.m. closing it down, we were talking about all kinds of comedy, philosophy, any number of different things.
Language,
totally.
less words.
Yes, man, absolutely. Here's a tag for you. No, that one's not going to work.
I'm not sure that's what we were talking about.
I don't even know what we were talking about. But at no point in time then did I ever think that I would ever be, I don't know, doing something useful. I thought I was going to be just a guy who told dick jokes on stage for the rest of my life, and I was going to be happy with that.
Person on the God mic, and it's always like, your next senator from blank state. And this was like, please welcome Jim Justice and Baby Dog. I was like, no.
All right, that's too good.
I gotta go.
That's too good.
Yeah.
Whew. All right,
It's a
come
bit
on.
much.
Come on the nose.
I'm also enjoying myself by like reacting as if I was there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So like whenever there's a good insult about like Pelosi, I'll be like, get 'em.
Now I'm doing reaction videos of you at the RNC.
There should be a live feed.
Yes, absolutely. Like you like to be one of them for an hour.
When there's a joke that doesn't land, I'll be like, ha 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 ha. It's fun.
I believe it.
Anyway, we had an episode to go over, Jordan, today, so we're going to be talking about July 15th. That is Monday's episode.
Okay.
Because, obviously there was the old shooting over the weekend at the Trump rally.
Right.
And thought,
the one that just released.
hey, we'll see what happens when Alex gets back to studio.
Right.
And it turns out he's not back in studio. He's still in California. He's still on his vacation that he's pretending is about trying to interview these people who went to Bohemian Grove.
I mean, I've always thought like that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro kind of thing. I did not consider that the weird would just take it off.
Yeah.
They were, you guys got it from here.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, Chase has got this.
Chase, go, bud.
So we'll get down to business on all this, but first, let's say a little hello to some new wonks.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So first, happy birthday, Sabrina. Thank you so much for introducing me to the pod and voice noting episode react.
I have not been watching the RNC. I do believe you that it's been a festival of leopards eating people's faces, and they're like, why? Why are they eating my face? Why are they eating my face? They're like, you were a token, stupid idiot. No, I can't put myself through that. I can only watch that stuff when under the supervision of like someone like Dan who's just into that. Oh, the header. Yeah. Thank you. 9:45. Thank you. And yeah, I can't stomach it. I don't have the. I would have done it in, if it was 2018 or something. I'd have been into that. That was when I had more of a thirst for like, look at them, they're so terrible, look how awful they are. And I can't do it anymore.
With me. Thank you so much. You're now Policy Wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I had a prophetic dream when I was 4 years old that on July 7th, 2021, Dan would first listen to the song Free, Free, Free by Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. This was before I learned to keep the dates vague on my prophecies. Thank you so much. You are now Policy Wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, go to drjonesbignaturals.com. That's drjonesbignaturals.com. Thank you so much. You are now Policy Wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Miss Krabappel and Principal Skinner were in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies, and the babies looked at me. Thank you so much. You're now Policy Wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we had a technocrat in the mix, Jordan, so thank you so much to Stubborn Vulpix. You are now a technocrat.
I'm a policy wonk.
4 stars. Go home to your mother and tell her you're brilliant.
Someone sodomite sent me a bucket of poop.
Daddy Shark. Bum, 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 bum. Jar Jar Binks has a Caribbean black accent. He's a loser little titty baby. I don't want to hate black people. I renounce Jesus Christ.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
It was very surreal because those were the wonk names that we had on a list for the episode that we bailed on because of the Trump shooting.
Yep.
So I was reading them for a second time, and the whole time I was like, wait, have we already done this? Of course we have.
I had sent you new names, and then you started reading those names, and I was like, no, that was the last episode. And then I remembered that we couldn't do it for the Zencaster one, and then we could for him.
And he's got some inside information from people involving the shooting.
Okay.
And it is too explosive for most people to touch.
Okay.
It is Monday, July 15th, 2024. I am your host, Alex Jones, and I'm going to be very calm and very collected and very focused. I have talked to many of the top people in the Trump operation in the last 48 hours, and they all agree with me in my analysis, but don't want to come out and say all of this because they say it's too alarmist and the public can't handle it. I disagree with that because I know my life's in danger. If they get Trump, they're going after his family. They're going after me. They're going after Tucker Carlson. They're going after Elon Musk, big time. This is a globalist coup that's been in control of the U.S. empire for decades that killed Kennedy. I want to roll footage over and over again of the Zapruder film with his head getting blown off. If that bullet would have been a half inch more to the right, you would have seen Trump's head explode. Now, can you imagine what that image on international television would have done? And then immediately after killing him, they would then set off truck bombs at black colleges or large black churches. They would have bombed them yesterday on Sunday and said the Trump supporters did it.
Okay, so that's what would have happened, I guess. So Alex's stance is entirely that the Secret Service...
There's a stand down.
Yeah, and they set up.
Yeah.
So because it didn't work out, they had to pull back all these truck bombs that they had ready to go off to blame Trump supporters. I feel like that's bad planning. If they have this level of coordination and planning, they're not going to miss.
Right.
I mean, if you go that far to have this elaborate of a plan to assassinate the president, which will then precipitate a string of truck bombings to blame on the president's followers, you're not going to whoopsie the shot.
How could you?
No.
And then what's the okay?
These are the worst villains.
So then again, they have to remove the truck bombs, right? What's the phone call over the walkie-talkie like?
Dude.
Yeah. Are we ready? Are we going to blow it? Are we ready to do it? Did they kill the president?
Crazy story.
Okay.
Funny thing
All
happened.
right. I don't like where this is going.
I've got bad news.
Oh, God dang it.
It just makes no sense. I know this is fun, and Alex isn't satisfied with the details that have come out about the alleged shooter, but this is just kind of a little much.
Yeah.
So now that they've tried to kill Trump, now they're really going to kill him.
There's different scenarios they can pull, but we know the type of scenarios they run. So we don't know exactly which scenario they'd follow, but we know all the scenarios, every possible one. Now that they were unsuccessful in killing Trump, they have got to kill him. Poisoning? Shooters? They've got some very sophisticated electromagnetic systems they could use, microwaves. This country is in a war with globalists, not a civil war. We are an occupied country. This is not a normal campaign. We're not in Kansas, folks. So listen to me. Trump's going to go. He's John Wayne for real. He's going to go to Milwaukee. He's there. They're going to do it all. And if you don't think the deep state isn't desperate enough to roll a truck with plastic explosives into that building, got nothing coming.
Got another thing coming.
I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there. I just don't know how you're going to get a truck filled with plastic explosives anywhere these days.
I don't know. But I have this fun image in my head of the, I guess, Secret Service globalists,
right?
Like going about all their plans and just being like, fuck.
I mean, oh, guys,
we are so behind.
Behind schedule, or everything is going wrong.
Fuck.
Pick it up.
But I guess that maybe is where all the truck bombs are going that weren't used. So they're probably repurposing them.
What if it's just a couple of dudes were late? Like the whole thing just can't work. It has to be so intricately planned because they're terrible planners, obviously.
Clearly.
Then two guys showing up, oh man, I ate the wrong burrito last night, and now there's no conspiracy theory.
I think when you are actually, hold on. Halfway through that thought, I realized something.
You changed your thoughts.
I was going to say, if you're planning this whole assassination and it's like this elaborate thing that's meant to sway an election and take over a country on the behalf of Satan, I would say you have understudies. But then as that was coming out of my mouth, I realized more loose ends. Maybe you wouldn't have an understudy.
That's a good point.
So maybe a burrito could completely ruin everybody's plan.
Because an understudy is always available to interview. You know, if you've got an understudy, they could be found out 20 years later. That's just another person that you'd have to disappear if things go well, and another loose end if things don't. You're right.
Maybe
You're totally
people
right.
were just late.
You're right.
Who knows?
It's got to be that way.
So look, they're going to nuke the White House. Shit's getting really extreme around here.
Why do I even bother not thinking you're about to say they're going to nuke the White House?
I don't know how Alex could ramp this up anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
When they kill Trump, they will then kill Biden. And this is interchangeable. They may use a low-yield 1 megaton nuke, 2 megaton nuke on the White House to get Biden. That's one of their moves. I guaranteed there's files, plans, weapons loaded, ready, go teams, ready to kill. They are guaranteed atomic weapons following Trump around, and they get the order from the Council on Foreign Relations and British intelligence, and they're going to kill him. They're going to kill Trump, and they're going to kill Biden. And then this country will be in full martial law.
Oh, what a glorious day that would be.
I've calculated.
I think we'll be dying of radiation poisoning.
Even if they use robot drones with nerve gas they've got stationed all over the country, the robots won't be able to knock everybody out, and then it'll be total war. We're going to beat them, But you have to understand, folks, they're going to nerve gas the capitals. They're going to nerve gas the Republican leadership. And that's why they don't like me, folks, because I know all this stuff.
Yeah, that's why they don't like him. Yep, because he knows about the nerve gas drones and the Daleks with guns and COVID swabs and the Ebola that's being released from Denver and all this shit. He knows all about it. That's why everyone hates him.
Yeah, this level of extremity almost calms me down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I guess at least they're not going to nuke DC. That's nice. I believe strongly that no one's going to nuke DC.
Grindr crashed in Milwaukee because they legislate against gay people while hooking up with gay people too. Okay, yeah, I remember hearing a lot of stuff about that. Yeah, I mean, not that specifically that Grindr crashed. That's pretty funny. If it was like literally that Grindr, like, please, we can't have too many Republican men all in the same place, because this dating app was not meant to handle these kinds of numbers, right? Maybe someone who knows statistics could tell us what does that mean? What sort of numbers are we seeing of overrepresentation from Republican communities that are gonna actually like bump up internet traffic that much? I would love to have someone break that down for me. That's pretty fucking crazy.
See, I believe that, Dan.
I think that the odds are pretty low.
Yep.
But I just don't I get it. I get that Alex has got to make things exciting.
Yeah.
And I get that there's like, okay, in the real world, someone shot at Trump. How are we going to escalate this?
Right.
And
Thanos. It has to be Thanos. We're in Thanos territory.
Yeah. Alex's content does suffer from superhero movie syndrome.
It does. He needs a reboot.
Yeah.
He needs to get back to the beginning. Go back to Iron Man, buddy.
So here's the deal. First.
Okay.
And
all right.
There's another Alex in another time.
Oh, yeah? Is he happier?
I'm going to try and change lives with him.
Yeah.
The only thing he did differently is that he didn't drink between 2012 and 2017.
That was all he had to do. 5 years off, and now you can start drinking again. Have a cocktail.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex has the idea that the Secret Service was behind the shooting by letting it happen and planning it and all of this. But I think that he doesn't really have evidence of that. He doesn't really have proof. And I think that he's now reached the point where, like, conspiracy theories shouldn't have proof.
I am beyond mentally exhausted. I'm not exhausted. There's such a spiritual awareness and concern of the grave danger we're in that I can't believe I'm the person bringing this information. All right? No one else is going to do it, even though the generals and all of them agree with me, because they believe it's too alarmist to tell people stuff like this. No, we've got to be honest about where we are. All right, we've got to be honest. Of course, the Secret Service was told to stand down. Of course, they let the guy get the shots off. We don't need to get caught around the wheels like a cartoon character, like Wile E. Coyote when he gets run over, and just stay in that BS land.
You're supposed to be the guy who's like, I've got the documents, I have all the proof, it's all declassified, all this, and it's like, No. We need to just stick with the conclusion and don't worry about the details. Don't worry about the details. I'm not proving anything to you. We just know this thing. And it's like, I don't know.
What I think is so crazy about this is that I actually might respect the Secret Service. Is that a thing? Like, because I think
doesn't seem like a thing for you.
They've been the most apolitical organization of people. Like they've legit been like, hey, I'll die for a monster. I don't care. You know, like even Trump was president before.
Sure.
Why would they betray? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, because the orders came down.
I think that the Secret Service is actually kind of probably too into protecting the president.
They really like it.
I think they might be too into it to the point where you should be like respectful of how they're probably not part of a conspiracy.
Yeah, maybe. I do think that there's something interesting going on with Alex, though, and that is that like he's being like, yes, this is why they wanted me off air, because they were the orders had come down to try and take out Trump, and that's why the orders came down to take me off air. And it's like, you dumb asshole, you just tried to get back into Sandy Hook conspiracies as being the reason they tried to take you off air.
Yep.
He's kind of pivoted that now into, instead of it being like, I was too close to the truth about Sandy Hook, he's now, they wanted me off air when they shot Trump. It's like, all right, man. I get that that's better. That is way better.
Sure. I mean, it's way better than telling the truth, which is that he wanted himself off air so he could go to California.
Probably. I have a thin excuse of some 20-year-old YouTubers I'm going to interview.
I still don't want to handle that.
No. So Alex, when he did get to California, though, terrified.
Oh.
Because there was the news of the shooting.
Right.
And Alex, because he was in California, he didn't have his piece. He didn't have any of his guns.
No, that's not. Oh,
no.
boy.
You think after they kill Trump, they're going to leave Tucker Carlson walking around? They'll kill him within 24 hours. Oh, I know they're coming. Listen, I was in the air when this happened. The minute we land, it just happened as we were landing, I just immediately was like, I'm in another area. I don't have my firearms, any of that. And I was like, they're coming. Okay? I mean, they're coming. Okay? So that's how life and death this is. You need to understand they're going to kill Elon Musk within 24 hours. And I guarantee you they got people inserted into his entourage, into his group, that are waiting to get the order. And I would tell all those people, you're betting on the wrong team, and you should just come clean with everything right now.
So as of press time, Musk's still fine.
Is he still okay?
Did not die within 24 hours.
What day is today?
This when we were recording this, I think it's Thursday.
Well, sounds about right.
Feels like it might be Thursday.
The days have been kind of a very heavily blending into one another based upon what massive news event has happened in the past hour.
It's been a little chaos.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex lands.
Yep.
Reaches for his waist. No gun.
Whoa.
Feels vulnerable.
Oh man.
Because they're coming. They're coming. They're gonna get him.
I think if I'm around Alex, I'm like, oh, thank God this happened when Alex is nowhere near his guns. Right? This is the best thing that could happen. He's not near guns, guys. We're gonna be all right this time.
Right. CNN's playing in the airport, and you just see like Alex out of nowhere does a whole somersault to behind the baggage claim area, taking cover.
Yep.
Ends up killing 100 people.
Yeah. Way better.
Self-defense.
Way better with the no guns thing. Yeah.
Instead, Alex just kind of probably casually got his bags and then went to a resort.
Yeah. Had a nice little day.
Yeah. But then this happened.
All right, folks. I don't say this to be dramatic. I say this because I'm 50 years old. I've been around the block a lot. My sixth sense is never wrong. And the older I get, I always know to follow it. Plus, I have all the intellectual information and research behind it. And growing up in Dallas, I got a lot of really serious fights. And I never knew how to back down. And before I would get in a fight, which is a natural thing for your body, I'd throw up just to get everything out of there so you go full on. I just threw up during the break. And again, I told people that because, okay, all previous concerns, this is 50 times worse, okay? And I want folks to understand the level and magnitude of the danger, okay?
Okay, I'm serious this time. I just threw up.
I feel like he's done that, but isn't that the same thing as he's done the Imperial Star Cruiser has to get rid of the garbage thing, remember?
Probably.
He's done that's how they do it. And that's what he's doing here. He's throwing up all over the place.
Sure,
I think he's just an alcoholic.
I think, probably at a resort, having a good time, and threw up during the break, trying to make it seem a little more important than it is. So Roger Stone comes in, and he's really probably working on getting himself sued.
Good.
Everything I hear coming out of Pennsylvania raises more questions than it does answers. For example, a number of people have contacted me to say that the shooter is not the man they've identified, but rather a man by the name of Maxwell Yerrick, who seems, at least in photographs, and I'm not in law enforcement, I don't have, facial ID technology, but appears to more closely resemble the picture we've been shown that is allegedly the corpse of the shooter. So I have many, many questions, as the American people do. I can just tell you, Trump's style is not to back down.
Uh-oh, Roger, stop saying people's names. It's a big... this is too late for him to be doing this. He deleted that tweet that he put out just after the shooting.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get the immediacy. I think it's still bad behavior. I still think you shouldn't act that way. But I get where someone like Roger, a piece of shit like Roger, would act like that.
I was going to say.
Monday's a little late for this.
I was going to say. I was like, wait, you get what's going on? But now I get where...
When it's Roger.
It's too long.
This is too late.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Your plausibility of this being like above board behavior is past.
Listen, nobody believed you before. You're Roger Stone. So shut up. But now you're doing it way too late for even Roger Stone heads to be like, hey, I probably believe this
there's
guy.
no excuse.
Yeah.
So Roger comes in. He's like, bah, bah, bah. Who cares?
Stone
he doesn't have
Zone.
much to say.
Bah, bah, bah.
And so Alex, this was just such a funny moment. This is Alex realizing what he's saying mid-saying it.
And folks, you notice we're not even in Milwaukee. Because the last CRO guy that tried to
We're
shut
not in
everything
Milwaukee anymore, Toto.
down, wouldn't even put the funds in to do it, even though it would bring in a ton of funds to do it. So that's why it's so important to support InfoWars, InfoWarsStore.com. Go to InfoWarsStore.com. It's being printed right now in Texas, the Trump bulletproof shirt.
It's so funny for him to be like, the CRO wouldn't give me any money to go to I'm in California.
Yeah.
Shit.
Ooh.
The last CRO guy that...
Listen, nobody believed you before. You're Roger Stone. So shut up. But now you're doing it way too late for even Roger Stone heads to be like, hey, I probably believe this
there's
guy.
no excuse.
Yeah.
So Roger comes in. He's like, bah, bah, bah. Who cares?
Stone
he doesn't have
Zone.
much to say.
Bah, bah, bah.
And so Alex, this was just such a funny moment. This is Alex realizing what he's saying mid-saying it.
And folks, you notice we're not even in Milwaukee. Because the last CRO guy that tried to shut everything down, wouldn't even put the funds in to do it, even though it would bring in a ton of funds to do it. So that's why it's so important to support InfoWars, InfoWarsStore.com. Go to InfoWarsStore.com. It's being printed right now in Texas, the Trump bulletproof shirt.
It's so funny for him to be like, the CRO wouldn't give me any money to go to I'm in California.
Yeah.
Shit.
Ooh. I wasn't allowed to travel because the CRO wouldn't let me get on a plane and go to a state where I am not.
Meanwhile, I'm here pretending to be covering Bohemian Grove, which seems like if you could do that, you could probably go to Milwaukee.
Do you think
probably be cheaper to go to Milwaukee?
Do you think it'd be cheaper to go to Milwaukee? Do you think fewer people might be buying flights at a certain? Although it could be. Maybe they couldn't afford a hotel. I bet the hotels are too expensive around Milwaukee right now.
I think you could find something.
Probably something about the same cost as an expensive 4-star resort.
Those moments where Alex is like trying to rationalize why he's not doing something, and it kind of flies in the face of what he is currently doing.
Yeah.
I just think that's real funny. And you could kind of see in the moment the realization, like, shit, this isn't going to work. I can't blame the CRO for not letting me travel while I'm traveling. This isn't going to work.
I'm getting strong cartoon vibes from this episode. Because earlier with there's nukes following people around, in my head I had the cartoon, there were giant anthropomorphized nukes who would tiptoe nearby, and Joe Biden would look around and they'd stop and hide bombs, that kind of thing. And now him appear, tell you a story, and then disappear while you're listening on the radio is about as cartoonish as it gets.
Yeah, definitely. So Alex has, he's reached this conclusion that the Secret Service did all this shit.
Sure.
And I think that what he's doing is anti-critical thinking.
Don't let the Jedi mind tricks work on you, folks. The Secret Service
let my mind tricks work on you.
I'm ashamed of some of the famous Secret Service people I've seen on national television going, well, they really screwed up. Yeah, this is gross negligence. They should have people on the roofs. It wasn't negligence. They were told to do it. Trump should be hauling all those people in to a conference room and saying, I'm the real president. Now you tell me, everybody that told you where to go and what to do. Guys, I was just getting some interference. Are we good?
You sound great.
Sounds like somebody. You guys just open the mic. Okay. So that's where we're at on this. Okay. And they're going to go after him again. And I just have to repeat that 1,000 times to you.
Yeah, and you do. He does. I got excited hearing Chase there, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're going to get a little action? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an important line here that I think Alex crosses quite a bit, and I think it's really well illustrated in that clip. There's no solid evidence as of right now that the Secret Service was told to stand down. Alex has no evidence to that effect beyond things that look weird. There are a number of details that fall into the same category as the, quote, anomalies that led Alex to think that Sandy Hook was a false flag. They aren't things that prove anything, but they're things that make people go, I might have watched a Vice documentary about Arsenio Hall the other day on YouTube.
That makes a lot of sense.
What Alex has done is quite simple. He's working with the assumption that Secret Service members were told to stand down, and instead of reporting this to his audience as an assumption, he's pretending that it's been proven. He treats this conjecture as solid fact for two important reasons. One, he can't prove it, and two, it's a critical piece of his ability to make this narrative work. The shooter wasn't some Antifa leftist, and the attempt to make that narrative work hinges on Rogers' misidentification of the shooter, which Alex risks getting sued if he runs with. If this wasn't a setup by the Secret Service, then there isn't really a good angle for the conspiracy theorist to take here, so Alex needs that to be what happened. I guess if you want to be a conspiracy theorist on the other side, you could say that Trump set up the whole thing in order to look strong,
right?
But Alex could never run with that.
Yeah.
So his options are a little limited.
Yeah. I mean, the staged movie set kind of thing makes sense if you want to indict Trump.
Which you can't do if you're Alex.
if you're Alex, yeah.
So in order to strengthen the flimsy piece of his argument's architecture, Alex just acts like it's totally solid, and people trying to convince you otherwise are doing Jedi mind tricks. In effect, what he's done is appeal to blind faith while pretending that what he's doing is based in critical thinking. This is why it's always hollow when Alex pretends that he's just asking questions. It's not that he's not just asking questions, it's that he's teaching an audience to think this is what it looks like to just ask questions. And that's... it's a direct in the contradiction of exploring evidence and asking questions.
I think I have an interesting question. All right.
You might.
So, Sandy Hook, Alex defamed him again, did it again, incontrovertible proof. I'm not going to pretend that it didn't happen.
Right.
Right. So can you sue InfoWars again?
Well,
and if so, will the chief resource officer also be liable?
Well, it's the chief restructuring officer.
Whichever.
And I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I feel like if that is the case, then yes, they're the boss. They are now in charge of InfoWars,
not
and
right
they
now.
should be liable for...
They aren't at the time of when Alex did that. Because
whichever,
the bankruptcy had been kicked out of the bankruptcy court.
Well, then
so the CRO is no longer...
Whoever's running it now.
The trustee, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the structure. Someone's responsible for something.
Yeah, so...
But also, it might not be defamation, because I don't remember if Alex used anyone's names. It's definitely still infliction of emotional distress.
Yeah, I think there's a continuation of that. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I think that actually might be an interesting question. I think the trustee might have a responsibility, or at least a liability, for Alex's behavior.
Everyone should know better.
Everyone should know better.
You know who else should know better?
Who?
George fucking Strait. Musician George Strait.
Okay, what did he do this time?
It's not what he did. Oh? It's what he didn't do.
Okay.
We don't fight the enemy because we hate them. We fight for the people behind us, our women and our children. And I told everybody this a few months ago, and I called George Strait out because I love George Strait, and I know people that know him very well. I know his band, been friends with him for years. The Ace in the Hole guys. And he's a patriot. He knows all this stuff. He's super smart. But where's George Strait? Okay, he gets housing for veterans and American flags and stuff. Great. Because that's not George Strait's job. Okay, George Strait, there'll be a nuclear war. You understand, George Strait? That's what this comes down to. And I'm not singling him out. I'm just using him as an example.
Of his attention than fame? Boo.
I also like the sort of structure of, I'm not calling him out, I'm using him as an example.
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
I'm not doing this thing. I'm going to do it.
I really hope George Strait picks a fight with me, and that's about all. Yep. Alex, in this next clip, talks about how the globalists can never actually take charge of anything.
Water is pouring in, freezing, top over any minute. Get up off of your... We must expose the enemy. We must let them know that we know, that we see them. They've been going around cloaked this whole time. Understand? They have been cloaked. And us sitting here and not wanting to admit how bad it is their cloak. Our denial is the ocean in which these evil things swim. Now, when the ship goes down, and without act of God, and God working through you, it will, all the globalists will end up getting killed as well. Guaranteed now. We've laid enough seeds, enough political landmines in the system that they will never get away with this. But I want to light them up politically, spotlight them now so horribly that everybody has a mass awakening about this, so they back off. And they may do it.
People who leave behind tons of landmines are historically looked at as pretty cool. That's generally never a problem.
Yeah. A lot of people like to walk around Vietnam and love the United States.
Yeah. So what Alex is expressing here is that he and his brand of content have distorted reality so much for enough people that there's never going to be a competent government in the future that doesn't face radical resistance from the far right. Middle-of-the-road Democrat policies have been redefined as satanic communism, so no matter what happens, extremism will grow. And when you have a, let's say, middle-of-the-road conservative government, or even a fairly far-right government, there will be insidious internal deep state actors that those people will be pushing against. That is any kind of sort of left-leaning policy.
Yep.
So what Alex is saying, I think if you look at it through its metaphorical lens, I think he's somewhat onto something. He has left a lot of landmines behind.
Yeah, I mean, it is odd to hear someone be proud of what I think is a truly horrific thing to do.
Infoterrorism.
Right? It is a little bit odd to be like, hey, listen, don't worry about it. The moment we lose or if we win, it doesn't really matter. The government's going to explode if somebody steps wrong in any direction.
We've inspired enough people who love guns and murder that... Nah.
Yep.
So I was listening to this episode, and I'm like, Alex is still on vacation. This is fucking weird. Yeah. What is going on?
What's Chase got to say?
Well, we'll hear from him in a minute.
Yay!
But first, Alex has something to say that I think changes everything.
Okay.
Literally game-changing.
Game-changing.
Yes.
It changes the game.
Mic down for this because it's going to blow your fucking mind.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to shoot anybody, bomb anything, any of that. But I do think it's time for us to pray. I don't talk about stuff like this, the heavy artillery, unless we're in an emergency. And I'm not going to do it right now because it's too awesome at this point. I have to think about this a little more. You have to ask the Holy Spirit, God. But you see these witches and people get together and ask Satan to kill people, put hexes on them and stuff. They're trying to copy what God can actually do, okay? So it's not black magic when we go to God and say, God, we need to be delivered. We will do whatever you say. We have courage, but we ask you to confuse our enemies, and we ask you to send the angel of death. And God can just kill these people. And I'm going to talk to Pastor Brown, a few other pastors I trust about this first. Before I do it, Catholics can pray the rosary and things like that. That's good. Focus on God. But I personally am strongly considering praying for the angel of death. So that's where we're at. All right. And it's a big deal. And I don't know I'm the man to do it. So, because I'm not comparing myself to Moses, folks. You start praying to God to send the angel of death. That's the final thing we can do.
Yeah, this is serious. This is very, very serious now. Alex is considering calling upon the angel of death.
Let me see if I understand his religious cosmology correctly.
Yeah.
Witches kill people using black magic.
They put hexes on people.
Right.
They're doing a God impression.
In an impression of God.
Yeah.
Right. I think they're bad.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm going to do black magic with God, it's cool.
Well, it's not evil magic.
Right.
It's just the angel of death.
Okay, so murder's bad, but
I'm going to put a God hit on somebody.
I think you might be. Now, hey, listen. I'm not the most familiar with the commandments. I don't remember, I think maybe 5 through 8. I can't remember those.
Right.
But boy, this does feel like taking the Lord's name in vain, if ever there has been one.
I don't know if the angel of death is the Lord.
I think if the Lord is sending the angel
He
of death.
works for the Lord.
Can you ask the angel of death behind the Lord's back?
No, I'm sure the Lord needs to sign off
He's
on.
got to have the sign off,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. The Lord cannot give a stand down to the angel of death.
I like the idea of Alex being like, hey, angel, don't tell God this.
What
right?
if Alex gets to heaven and then there's conspiracies there?
I mean, it would have to be.
God, that would be so unsatisfying.
Yeah, it would be brutal.
So yeah, this is stupid. But I do think it's really funny to imagine for the last 30 fucking years, Alex has been like, don't do it.
I could pray for you to get killed, but
He's
I'm not.
up on air that he's resisting invoking the angel of death.
Yep. He has not thought about it, and you know what? He's not ready to do it yet.
No.
He's got to talk to
Pastor Rodney Howard Brown.
Yep.
Yep.
I wonder what they're going to say.
Probably go for it.
I assume so. I imagine their understanding of the Bible is about equivalent to Alex's.
Now, this is fucking stupid and awesome to hear someone talk about.
In religious language, he is out and out saying, I am about to ask you, everybody who is listening to me.
I am basically asking you right now.
I'm basically
pretending
asking you right
to
now.
not take responsibility for the words that I'm saying.
That's fair.
But
That's
the words that I'm saying are, you should kill people.
But the words that he's saying, sure, they mean that. But if you were to, if somebody was to be like, he means that he wants people to kill people, then everybody would be like, no, he didn't say that. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he didn't say that. Yeah,
No, it's through enough layers of plausible deniability that,
Except it's not plausible anymore.
Well,
You
for
know?
us.
For us. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe for a court, it's not enough to be like he's putting out a hit on.
See, I mean, that's such a really great indictment of the court system. If it's enough for us, the people who've spent a decade studying this guy, but not enough for the courts, I think people are listening to the wrong people, maybe.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Oh, well.
So let's listen to the right person.
Let's do it.
Chase.
Yeah!
Alex needs to go refresh his martini and zucchini.
No weenie.
So Chase takes over. He complains about Tenacious D.
God damn it,
I saw a
Chase.
clip earlier today. Jack Black, who was somebody I loved and adored.
Why?
As a teenager, listening to Tenacious D, the greatest song in the world, and watching his movies. I mean, School of Rock, how hilarious and awesome and inspiring that was as a comedy. It was such a great family movie with such a great message.
What?
On stage singing Happy Birthday to his bandmate today and says, make a wish to Kyle. And Kyle just goes, next time, don't miss Trump. The fact of the matter is we are faced not with a Democratic enemy, not with a leftist enemy, not even with a globalist enemy. We are faced with an enemy that is ultimate evil.
I'm not sure this guy got Tenacious D. I'm not sure he understood a lot of. There's a lot of satanic stuff all over it.
I mean, I don't think he did. Was Dave Grohl actually the devil?
I think in the song he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But also it's a tribute to the greatest song in the world. It's not the greatest song in the world.
Sure.
It's very
Yeah.
important.
I mean, there is a big difference
Yeah,
there.
he couldn't remember it.
InfoWars is inaccurate. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. I think the idea of Chase watching School of Rock about the acceptance of people for their differences as opposed to excluding them for being different and then going, I'm going to work for InfoWars is about as crazy as it possibly gets.
He should also, if he believes in the things that InfoWars believes in, he should think that that movie is about grooming children.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. He was like, oh, we should sing happy birthday to this unattractive person because all people are attractive in some way. You know, it's just crazy.
Also,
crazy.
The family values of such tracks as fuck her gently.
Yeah, there is definitely that.
I don't know. I feel like it's funny that Chase is somebody who knows of Tenacious D.
Yes.
And presumably, I don't know, he's probably not the age that he saw like the HBO show.
Sure.
But he probably saw the album, maybe saw him live or something.
Yeah.
Because he's, it's in that right time
How old
frame.
is he? Is he our age?
No, he's younger.
He's younger. He's like...
How much younger is debatable, 'cause
right?
He has kids, right? I mean,
he's probably
I'd put him early
30s. Yeah. So he's a little bit younger than us. He's from our generation, basically. Yeah.
But even so, I think that he probably wouldn't have been cool enough to watch Tenacious D on HBO.
I don't know. I bet he couldn't. I bet if he's at InfoWars now with the things that he believes, I would not be surprised if his parents would not have allowed him to watch HBO, period.
Yeah.
And I bet he grew up in the same way, in a similar, like, you can't watch The Simpsons because it's too demonic kind of way, you know?
And honestly, I think that he should know that if anybody takes assassination attempts seriously, it's Tenacious D.
Absolutely.
Kyle took a bullet for
That's the song!
JB. Anyway.
Chase is the most confusing person I think I've ever encountered in my entire life.
And it only gets more confusing.
Of course.
We're not even dealing with villains that are akin to the Hitlers or the Maos or the Stalins or the Darth Vaders or the Emperor Palpatines or the Saurons. We are dealing with villains who don't even give us the respect of being competent. I mean, those villains that I named were incredibly competent in the way they conducted evil and seized power. I mean, Darth Vader turned to the dark side for good reasons. He thought the dark side was the answer to curing death. That is the message of Star Wars, is that evil entices us because of our good intentions. But now we have gone beyond those who have turned to evil with good intentions to a class of people so callous, so evil, so insensitive, so lacking in empathy, so sociopathic, that they didn't even do it with good intentions. They just did it for the sake of it.
Let me translate this for you. Dialogue aside, Star Wars is well written. Darth Vader's a villain with a relatable backstory because he's not real and is a character in a fictitious storyline. His wants and motivations are determined by a writer who knows that having those wants and motivations be relatable gives a greater depth to the story that's being told and makes Darth Vader a character that you can welcome being redeemed at the end because it's all made up. Chase is expressing a very understandable frustration here, and that is that his villains are poorly written. Alex is just making up this story, but he's a shitty writer, so the villains have no complexity, they have no pathos, their motivations make no sense. He wants to be the author of an epic tale of good versus evil, but he has no skill with characters, so all the bad guys just become cartoons. They can't handle subtle storytelling, so the bad guys do bad things because they're bad and they like bad stuff. And to act otherwise, it risks the audience empathizing with the bad guys, and then the whole story falls apart, and Alex can't handle that kind of sort of nuance.
Okay.
And on whatever level he can let himself realize it, Chase is frustrated with the story that Alex has created, and he has to keep telling because it's stupid. And I think that's underneath what Chase is saying. I think that's fascinating.
I am going to throw this out to you, and I don't think it's true or have any evidence or anything like that. But I do think in the same sense, like, if Alex were working for COVID, this is what he would be doing, right? I think if Solomon Berg were trying to get a job and work at InfoWars and then sneak actual, I guess, good ideas into it, this might be how it would go.
But these aren't
and his
good
name
ideas.
is Chase Geyser.
These aren't good ideas.
They're not good ideas, but they're ideas that keep you from going, oh, Alex is right about how these villains make sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I this is different from InfoWars. This is anti-InfoWars.
It's not if you listen to it in its full complexity.
Sure.
Or its full context.
Sure.
Because Chase will make this point, and it's fully in defense of saying that our enemies are just pure evil.
Right.
Right,
but if you want to... No, you're right. Because you're not on InfoWars. And you would never be allowed near InfoWars. Because you're right. You have to be wrong to get on InfoWars. So this would be... again, I'm not saying that he's pulling one over on us, or that he's making sense, or that any of this is a good idea. I'm saying that if Solomon Berg were to try and infiltrate InfoWars, I think this is about what it would sound like.
I don't think... I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you on that. I think that Chase is... I see way less markers of intentionality and more markers of, like, this is a person who on some level isn't a total idiot.
Yeah.
And that makes him look like an idiot on InfoWars.
Yes.
And I think that there's a struggle that some part of his brain that actually is able to comprehend like structure and story and that stuff is at odds with what he has to do in his job.
Yeah.
And probably what he wants to do.
Yeah, it
because
feels like...
I'm not saying that he doesn't want to put forth InfoWars bigotries and all that shit.
Right.
He's probably a horrible person.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, I don't know how to yeah, I mean, you can't have both. I understand the structure of movies, and also I understand that Alex is not essentially writing a bad movie.
Yeah.
You know, like if he's like, oh, here's how the structure of a movie works, then he can apply that to Alex and go, oh, Alex is just writing a movie.
Yeah, and it's
he's
bad.
just not there. Yeah, he's
It's a
just not
bad
there. Yet.
movie.
It's because it's a bad movie that he gets that it's a movie.
On some level, he has to.
Yeah.
And it would be funny if he ever becomes self-aware of that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
what could it be? Madness.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But I do know one thing, and that is that
Chase Geiser is going to be the next president.
Well,
sorry.
If he does become the president,
Yeah.
it will because he is the type who is unsure if it is a good idea to call out the angel of death.
I mean, evil for the sake of evil is something that we hadn't really seen anywhere in fiction or history many times up until maybe the Joker in A Dark Knight with Christian Bale. Some people just want to see the world burn, Mr. Wayne. And, you know, I don't know about calling on the angel of death or anything like that. That's between Alex and God and you and God and me and God to contemplate.
That's between Alex and God and you and
But
God.
there's
me
absolutely
and
no
God.
question
Fucking
that we are being
dumb
faced with
fuck.
evil at the highest levels. The level of Satan, the ultimate adversary to good and God's plan.
It's so funny that they're taking this very, very seriously. They're calling out the angel of death.
Yeah.
But we've seen plenty of characters who are evil for the sake of evil, like a whole lot of the religious canon. But also, Chase is fundamentally misunderstanding the Joker.
I also find it very funny that they're all like pretending that they don't like often wish death upon people. Like they're pretending like, oh no, actually we hold back this power, and we would honestly, as much as I scream about how all my enemies are like baby predators and baby eaters and evil subhuman scum.
It is like some sort of like cheat code.
He's weird in a different way.
It is a different thing. This is a completely different thing from what we have experienced on this show. And I feel like we've experienced a lot of different things on
Quite
the
a
show.
bit.
We've seen all kinds of different things on the show.
We've seen a lot of things vis-a-vis Project Camelot. We've seen people come and go at InfoWars.
Totally.
It's
this is different.
He's different.
He's different.
Violence is not the answer, certainly not yet. Sometimes violence is the answer. Ecclesiastes, it says there is a time to kill. Of course, one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not murder. But then in Ecclesiastes, it says there's a time to kill.
Belief is hard.
There's a difference between killing and murder. And what we saw on Saturday was not an attempt to kill President Trump. It was an attempt to murder President Trump. It was successful in murdering others. It
Absolutely.
was an assassination. Go ahead.
And Chase, the Bible's 100% clear on this, and of course you know this, but people who may not. Murder means kill somebody that's innocent, like go kill your neighbor because you want to have sex with his wife or
Right.
whatever. A time to kill, the Bible says many times there is a time to rise up and kill. You know, it says when your enemy comes in to your village and tries to come into your home with a sword to kill you, pick up your sword and kill him.
Right.
So I mean, Christ said after the Romans came in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, no, it's not the time for the swords right now. But he goes, sell your cloak and buy a sword because that time is coming. He's saying it's better to be in your underwear and have a sword than to not have a sword. And so absolutely, that's what this is all about. And that's why the Bible's so deep. It has so many meanings, and the greater your discernment is, and the older you get, you then read it, and it's so much more powerful.
It's powerful stuff. Violence. There's a time for it.
I mean, I don't know what.
I just think I think that what drew me to that clip, is Chase starting to talk about violence, and that's when Alex is like, I'm coming back.
Right in.
Yeah.
I thought he was
drawn back into this after Chase is just rambling about the Joker and all this stuff, and that's where Alex is like, yep, I'm back. I'm in. Yeah, you're right.
There is a time to kill.
And I'm going to talk about how it's biblical.
Yep. And that means it's okay, and you should not feel bad if you want to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this leads Alex into a long stretch of, well, here, this is kind
violent
of
ideation?
Not really, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's more of this.
Oh.
No matter what happens, no matter what you do, in the end, you're going to pay for what you've done, and I want you to know that. And I want you to understand and see my war face. And I want you to know my will be, and our people's will is 1,000 times stronger, and our God is infinity stronger. Now, the point is, because there's no product left, and we're going to have to do the T-shirts.
Yeah, so it's kind of the violent ideation. There's a little bit of that, but it is also apparently used in service of promoting Dr. Jones Naturals and his new Trump Got Shot shirt.
Yeah.
It feels cheap.
You know, there is something to be said, actually, about that being a very calming thing. You know, like, everybody's very much riled up, but there's a lot of like intense rhetoric around the election, and obviously there's real shit going on. But but
know what I mean? Alex, if there weren't ads,
there's still ads.
Yeah,
like, and not just Alex's ads. Like, Target is advertising during the RNC or whatever. Like, it can't be that terrible if there's still ads. Nobody's fighting a nuclear war and then still like, hey, brought to you by down.
But that to me, actually, I can't abstract that.
Sure.
I can see a situation where World War III is brought to you by Dove soap.
Yeah, that's
or
fair.
something.
That's fair.
Like, I can see that.
That is fair.
I think it's more so penetrating of Alex's mythos and his, like, just kind of his whole thing when he does that. Like, the point is, we need
yes, we need
some
money.
sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, like, that to me is so, like, if he didn't have that and it was all pure, look at my war face.
Yep.
I would be more scared of that.
Yeah.
I'm still scared of the RNC with ads.
Yeah, I mean, in a certain way, I thank God Alex doesn't actually believe in God.
I think Alex thanks God he doesn't believe in God.
Yeah, right.
So Alex starts talking about Trump and how he's the king, but not the king.
Not the king.
Not like
Let's
Elvis.
not say king.
No, he does say king.
Oh, really?
But it's like a chess metaphor.
Okay, so he's the king. Anybody that plays chess knows you protect the king. Okay, so we don't want the king in the first move going out to the center of the board. You keep the king over here in the back, and you protect him, and you move pieces around with him. So, look, Trump, we all know you're a badass, okay? I know people that know Trump well. He was always smart enough not to get in fights. A few times, big guys mess with him, whatever, he would just grab and twist around, push their head in the ground.
I thought that was you.
Big Scott German bull, okay? The guy's a freaking bull, all right? But the point is, bullets still kill bulls, okay? I've sat there and shot bison with a deer rifle, and boy, let me tell you, they fell right over. And so we need to understand that, and he needs to be protected. So if Trump wants to roll the dice and do this, fine. But in the age of media, in the age of systems, if he was in there doing Oval Office type addresses, fireside chats every night for an hour, and talking directly to the people, he would do 1,000 times better than these events. And I think people should go to the events.
Good night, Veronica. Thank you very much. And thank you for hanging out. Talk to you later.
And just chant, "We love you." Now go. You forget standing ovation. Just say, "We love you." Now leave. We love you. Now leave. 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 Leave until he gets off the stage. This is bullshit.
Yeah, so Alex wants people to chant "leave" at Trump at rallies.
Man, this is an episode for the ages.
Yeah.
This is one of the more incoherent things that is.
Well, it makes sense in some context.
Sure.
Because Alex believes that the Secret Service will try and kill Trump again.
Right, that's true.
So, like, the rallies are too dangerous.
Yeah.
So he should just be doing fireside chats.
Yeah.
But this is not new. The fireside chat idea is something he's been saying for years.
Yeah.
so it's kind of boring. But I do like the idea of chanting "Leave."
I love it.
We love you, but leave.
I think what's so interesting about this is like that idea of protect the king. Like watching, I don't know why I started watching. Like a lot of people started watching chess during the pandemic, and Magnus Carlsen is the greatest chess player who ever lived, who's a human being. And then they made all the chess programs that play chess against each other and are like 10 times better than any human being. And so Magnus starts studying all of these things. And what he finds out is that the machines have gone, there's no need to protect the king. The king is also part of the game. It is only people who instinctively want to protect the king because they feel like it's the most important part.
Right.
Right?
Well, it is that which can end the game.
Right.
And so you give undue import to it.
Exactly. Yep. Fascinating. So even this thing Alex thinks is the most obvious thing that everybody agrees on is wrong.
Well, it's also interesting because you have this formulation of you got to protect the king, and it's while Alex discusses this, it becomes too clear that he does not actually think of Trump as the king.
Why do we guard nuclear weapons? Because you don't want to get them in the wrong hands. Trump has got to be guarded because he is a weapon. And you keep a fine sword sheathed and oiled and ready for when you've got to use it. You don't just bring it out, start hacking up the furniture and throwing it in the street and pissing on it, stomping on top of it. Okay? And so that's all I'm saying. Trump is a sword. We need to get him into office on January 21st, 2025, and then he needs to use the executive power of the pen to take all these people out politically, remove them. That's what we want to see, like a samurai that waits until the battle's actually started, pulls out the sword, and then cry havoc.
Trump is a weapon. He's not the king. He is something that can be wielded as a weapon. The reason you protect him is because if someone takes out that weapon, you can't use it.
You don't have a weapon anymore.
There's no agency that Trump is being given in this. It is, I believe that I have some agency over Trump and how he's used as a weapon. That's the importance that Trump has for Alex. And I think people have said similar stuff a long time, and Alex has been like, no, he's chosen by God to be our ruler.
Yeah.
And it's just such silly bullshit. You realize this when in moments like this. It's like, you don't actually love Trump.
Yeah.
You just know that he's dangerous to the people that you want hurt.
Right. Which is essentially saying something along the lines of Trump is a front man for a shadowy group of people who actually make the decisions and tell him what to say.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gone from consortiums on the East Coast and the mob and what have you to now it's extreme right-wing politics that I support.
Conspiracy is fine as long as it's our conspiracy.
Yep. And I think that it's great that Alex has made peace with that.
I guess.
I hope Chase can sort of give him some therapy through that.
Yeah, I think Chase is against conspiracies.
I think he thinks he is.
I don't know what I don't know what Chase thinks at all.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
So we got one last clip here, and it's Alex talking about how when the shit hits the fan, people are going to kill Zuckerberg in his Hawaiian mansion. But not Alex.
Oh, and I guarantee you, people like Zuckerberg's bunkers are going to be tombs. And I'm not saying I'm coming to get Zuckerberg. I'm saying the people of Hawaii literally are waiting. I mean, everybody tells me, white people, Asians, the Hawaiians. I mean, last time I was in Kauai, I probably had people 50 times say, when the shit hits the fan, we're going to get Zuckerberg. I mean, like, you're literally like Frankenstein's castle with the villagers all around you, and they hate you. I mean, you're an idiot. Now, if everything went down in Hawaii, they loved me there. The chief, all of the real chief, because I'm honorable. And you're not. You're scum, buddy. So you understand that. That's a microcosm.
That is a microcosm. Yep. Honorable. And so the chief likes him.
I don't like this.
It's weird.
I mean, does Alex not realize he's rich?
Yeah, but he's not that kind of rich.
Sure, but, nobody's Alex kind of rich. Alex is closer to Zuckerberg kind of rich than 99% of us are.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's honorable.
I mean, best of luck
if anyone lives in Hawaii, tell us about this chief who has built a special place for Alex on the island. Love to hear about that.
Best of luck. Honor is what you're going to hang your hat on, I guess.
Look, I am somebody who lived in Hawaii for a little bit.
Right.
And it's been a long time, so I don't pretend to be an expert or anything like this.
Sure.
But when I was there, I do know that there is a Hawaiian sovereignty movement, and there are people that do believe that King Kamehameha and Queen Liliuokalani were unjustly taken off the throne, and the United States is not rightfully running the Hawaii as a state.
Fair point of view.
Sure. I don't think that there's a chief of Hawaii.
No, there is probably not.
I think that Alex is pretending that there's a secret tribal structure that runs everything.
Yeah.
And he's cool with them.
I think he's a racist.
I think so. But more what I think is that Alex probably ran into some weirdos while he was in Hawaii. And maybe one of them was like, I know the chief. You're good.
Could be.
And they maybe cracked a few beers. And he's now decided that he speaks for the chief.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No, it's
I don't think anybody in Hawaii wants Alex there.
No, probably not.
And I don't think anybody wants Zuckerberg there either, but I think they would be more interested in being like, chanting, go away, please leave, please leave, please leave, than they would be in like, I guess, how big is his state? It'd take you 1.5 miles to walk there.
And who knows exactly where underground the redoubt is.
Oh, just go. I don't want to have to find you. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think this is a little bit silly. But
silly.
Not nearly as silly as Alex taking very seriously the notion of calling down the angel of death.
But not for Zuckerberg.
He hasn't done that yet.
No, well, I mean, but he's like, hey, these people would go after Zuckerberg. I'm not going to use my angel of death powers on people I think are evil. I'm going to use my angel of death powers on Biden?
Right. Who you think is on death's doorstep already.
Who you think is run by Zuckerberg, I guess?
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Alex is so, full of shit with the things that he says that calling down the angel of death is really upon everybody.
It is, isn't it?
Like, when he says, even if he's saying, against Biden or whatever, that also means against...
It means Trump, too.
Mayors.
It means everybody, yeah. It means everybody that's pissed me off today. It is me personally, right? Yeah.
I have mind bullets, and I'm going to use them.
Oh, my God. He does have mind bullets.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He's saying, I'm going to shoot my mind bullets with you, at you.
And, devoid of any other external context, it's silly.
Yeah.
But in the world we live in, where there are people who, caught into Alex's philosophy of, I am the one who carries out God's vengeance.
Yep.
It's very dangerous. And this is a real shitty way for things to turn on his show.
Yeah.
But, when the former president gets shot and you're on vacation, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, oh, boy. That clip, again, that one makes me feel much more comfortable that there are ads in the clip before that. I'm like, oh, okay. Right. I get you. Angel of Death. Totally. Right. Dr. Jones, I guess we're all going to do it then. BigNaturals.com. Do you know what I'm saying? I guess that's how it's going to go. At the very least, Angel of Death is accompanied by everybody writing in Dr. Jones Big Naturals as a policy walk name.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the he's going to go for the angel of increased sales. That's who he's praying.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back with another episode. But until then, we have a website.
Indeed we do. It's soundtrack.com.
Yep, we'll be back. But until then, I'm Neo. I'm DZX Clark. I'm the mysterious professor.
Woo, yeah, woo, yeah, woo.
And now here comes the sex robot.
Andy in Kansas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex.
You are now at Techno.
Trump's head explode. No, my life's in danger. 15th, 2024. I am your host, Alex Jones, and I'm going to be very calm and very collected and very focused. I have talked to many of the top people in the Trump operation in the last 48 hours, and they all agree with me in my analysis, but don't want to come out and say all of this because they say it's too alarmist. The public can't handle it. I disagree with that because I know my life's in danger. If they get Trump, they're going after his family. They're going after me. They're going after Tucker Carlson. They're going after Elon Musk big time. This is a globalist coup that's been in control of the U.S. empire for decades that killed Kennedy. I want to roll footage over and over again of the Zapruder film with his head getting blown off. If that bullet would have been a half inch more to the right, you would have seen Trump's head explode. Now, can you imagine what that image on international television would have done? And then immediately after killing him, they would then set off truck bombs at black colleges or large black churches. They would have bombed them yesterday on Sunday and said the Trump supporters did it.
Okay, so that's what would have happened, I guess. So Alex's stance is entirely that the Secret Service...
There's a stand down.
Yeah, and they set up.
Yeah.
So because it didn't work out, they had to pull back all these truck bombs that they had ready to go off to blame Trump supporters. I feel like that's bad planning.
I mean, put the truck bombs near Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Just kill two birds with one stone. You know, you've wasted all you've wasted all your trucks. You got to. Well, what are you going to do? Remove the ordinance? You got to send it back to
they expire?
I don't know. Do they expire?
What's the freshness date?
What is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a fiscally irresponsible move.
Okay,
but I do think if they have this level of coordination and planning, they're not going to miss.
Right.
I mean, if you go that far to have this elaborate of a